Hey. We are just waiting for the Raven. What's going on, everybody? Hopefully everyone has had a nice day. Good week. We brought back the Rockies franchise, kind of like in a quick sim way. I think it's been going pretty well. Could have something special with that Rockies team. We're gonna be doing some PowerWash simulator with Raven as soon as he is available. Join. Oh, like the video and subscribe. Getting ready to start doing community days. Player Monday? I don't know. Start with a Minecraft server. It seems like a lot of people want Minecraft, so we'll see. Hopefully he will join relatively soon. Didn't tell her you're at the hospital. You didn't message her? I mean, she shouldn't be upset with you about it, but I mean, Vanessa would be upset with me if she found out I was at the hospital. Where is the Raven? He's playing Turnip Boy Robs a Bank. I heard that game's pretty fun. I'm glad it was nothing. Like I said, man, it's better to check than have it be nothing than not check and have it be something horrible. Clicked. Oh. Notifications. My bad. That is not my chat. It would help if I had my chat pulled up. I bet within a week we're gonna get some news on MLB The Show 20. So be excited to see who they got on the cover. Maybe Acuna. Maybe Fernando Rodney. I'm just kidding. A lot bigger. They'll give you a reason to be in the hospital. Wow. Apparently teasing Firefly Funhouse match down 24 in a gauntlet match. I've seen that, and I've seen the ladder photo. You should put Wander on the cover. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, my expectations are low as well, but I'm okay with that. I'd rather have no expectations and then get surprised and then have high expectations. I feel bad for anyone that looks at the show this year before anything's come out and they're like, I can't wait. I bet it's going to be something great. I bet it's going to be something. You're going to be disappointed. You're just going to be disappointed. Do you think maybe it will be a match? Like you could have a match in the WWE building? Like on a roof or something?
You're a lying fuck.
Because that would be the only thing so low.
Why not?
What up? You be playing wrestling all the time. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else they could be doing with ladder matches. Of course, you're more of a wrestling guy. Like, you know the ins and outs more than I do. Okay, so I have to click on a job first, right? Then I can invite you.
Let's say yes.
I had to play this game.
With a controller.
Yeah, boy. I was gonna play with the toilet.
Good luck with that.
We gonna brush it in.
Wish you the best of fucking luck there, homie.
Ah, here we go. Okay, so co-op. All right, now it's on. So there we go. And I went ahead and clicked on the golf cart. I didn't know if there was a achievement for that one.
We can find out.
Let's find out. I'll tell you what.
Temple, carousel, washroom, drill head, helter skelter, private
Skelter.
ancient monument, fire.
Still not much. Oh, it helped if I went to the gameplay. Huh. I need to see my face more.
Attached trailway, bungalow, van.
Did State say he was going to watch the Rumble with us?
Fishing boat.
Oh, that's my microphone. There it is. Like, so you're not going to be there helping things. Well, look at it like this. You're going to see how they do without you. You know.
I don't see one.
Guess I could look. I could look at mine. Do I have anything? Complete a bonus job. In the detached house, complete the pathway, driveway, and driveway edges first. So that would be the next one we're doing.
Important info. This might be Amos's last stream ever if he makes me play for fucking 12 hours again, like he did last time.
I give you every opportunity to say no.
I mean, yeah, but you also said you really wanted to finish that level then. So I'm like, alright.
Well, yeah.
Well,
I didn't know what kind of mood you were in. I didn't know if you wanted a fast pace or something.
I was in
where we
mood I was in.
Where we tell stories, you know.
What stories? You got no stories. You got stories. I got stories. I'm just here to hang out and vibe. It also didn't help, I think, that time if we waited to the last minute to figure out if we were streaming or not, or playing or not. And I'm like, I think I was like in a dead sleep when I finally saw your message that we were playing. I'm like, cool. I'll wake myself out of full unconsciousness. Ugh. Which I did that too because I laid down around 6, and I just happened to like open my eyes and I'm like, I wonder if I got any notification. I looked over and saw where Reed said he wasn't playing. And then it just so happened you sent the message saying you'd be ready in a few minutes. So.
That little dickhead. Let me tell you something about him. Did you read his message on Discord?
Yeah, how he got.
He's all power washed out.
Yeah, I mean it happens. This
game, I know, but he didn't play with us.
Well, I mean that was the other thing is if he did play, we couldn't do career mode. We would have had to do free play, so you wouldn't have got any. It's one of the only thing left's a bumper.
Oh, is there?
Oh, which? Oh, try.
By the way, Reed, if you're watching this, I love you.
Fuck you, Reed. You go to hell. You go to hell and you die. No, it happens. At this game, you can It's like I haven't done since we played last. I haven't touched my stuff to finish the career mode achievement either. Kind of hoping maybe I can get it if we do this.
I just enjoy playing games with you.
So the achievement for this should be this pathway leading up to the garage, the 2
Pathway.
brickworks, and then just the pathway leading up to the stairs. So I'll do the one
So
next to
this
the
one,
stairs.
not the stairs, but just this one.
Yeah, just this brick pathway or whatever,
And
then
this thing.
yeah, and the 2 sides to it, the bricks on either side, and then the actual walkway itself.
Oh god. I think this game gave me carpal tunnel. By the way.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Which is a very odd thing to say, but God, I gotta remember how to play this. I'm hitting like all the wrong buttons already.
I thought we bought the. Thought we at least bought the second highest power washer last time. Oh, there it is. It didn't show up for a second there.
Spinny knob one?
No, the actual power washer itself, not the attachments.
Alright, so don't hit the house, right?
I mean, you can do it, you just can't finish anything before we finish this.
I hate when I can't.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta stop hitting up on the D-pad. That's gonna be the death of me.
Oh, yeah. I use that mode in very select situations.
The whole boy, I saw you were playing the Turnip Boy Robs a Bank. How is that?
Oh, that's pretty good. Pretty good. Really good for a free Game Pass game.
Turnip Boy Robs a Bank.
The second game in that series, and it's completely different from the first one.
What's up, Gabe? Nope. There we go.
Halfway's done. Do you remember the thing I told you about hitting left on the D-pad?
Yes. I keep hitting the wrong one, but yes. Gabe, how you doing, man? See your Ravens won. Good for you. Yeah, this week's been an absolute crap show, hasn't it?
Nah, man, it was great. Nothing happened.
Are you getting reimbursed for your? Did you miss a day at all?
Nope.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
Nah, I just fucking went in and just worked the fucking, like, I think I worked like fucking 4 hours, like 3 days this week.
They still got you on that like I can't start until 4 a.m. or whatever you start at.
I just fucking started going in at 3, and if Caitlin wants to bitch, that's fine. I don't care. That's what I told Philip and Tim. I'm like, if she calls me and asks me why I'm starting at 3, and it's a big enough of a problem that she's going to make it like either a big problem or make it like a write-up, and be like, just fucking do it. I don't give a fuck anymore. I don't give a damn. Like, why are you starting at 3? Because that was the normal fucking start time.
A lot of people start at 3.
Nobody. I've never started at 4 o'clock on any schedule ever since I was a detailer.
Those were the days.
Yeah, I'm just going to start at fucking 3 all this week, and if she says so, which with all the other shit going on, I don't know if she even fucking noticed. That's what Philip asked me. He's like, she complained yet? And I'm like, she either hasn't noticed or she's noticed and doesn't fucking care. So, like, either way, I don't really fucking care. So I guess if this week goes normal, that should be it.
There's the achievement. Atta baby. Pave the way to success.
Congratulations, you're a real boy now.
Now, the hard part.
And now I'm going to do a magic trick. So we'll put this ladder right here, right? And then we'll go up here, right?
Yep.
Just up here.
Yep.
And here, and then just repeat this ladder
And now you're
right
just
there, and we'll
gonna
be all right.
Goldberg spear the.
Spear the ladder off the top of the roof.
By God, that broke him in half.
Oh,
Everyone likes
no,
Power
again,
Wash
look.
Simulator.
Says you. Fucking hate this game. Fortunately, it's a good game with relatively easy achievements, so fucking stuck with it, man.
Don, why do you hate football so much?
Because it's a national pastime to hate football.
Wait, what?
I said what I said.
I mean, they don't know what a catch is, so I can kind of understand it. And then you get penalized for tackling too rough.
Yeah, man.
He touched my balls, 15-yard penalty. Or jail time, whatever.
Yeah, man.
First down, Celtics.
Touchdown. Yeah, so one of my stores actually got extra fucked by all the nonsense that happened this week. So I don't know about y'all, but our first orders came on Friday after Monday's orders. Earlier this week, right?
Yeah.
So the orders that came in Friday, again, I don't know if this was the same for y'all, were actually the Tuesday orders, because the Tuesday orders got like picked and put together, but they just didn't get picked up and delivered because of all the shit that was happening, the weather.
All that white stuff, yeah.
Yeah. So we got those orders on Tuesday's orders on Friday. Here's the thing, though: our neighborhood market doesn't get a Tuesday order.
Yeah, we were also a day ahead, and you should have seen my shelves, man. Like, you could have. There was so we had 48 feet of space in that store. And I'm pretty sure in that 48 feet of space, there was a total of 20 bags.
Yep. Sounds about right. If you condensed all the product I had left in 669, by the time we got the truck Friday, we probably would have fit into 12 foot of space, maybe.
I had so much today. I think I had 8 carts today. And it was the worst day to have it because of Leo's soccer game today. So I had to be at the field because I was assisting today. The regular assistant coach got sick. So I said, dumbingly, I was like, yeah, no, I'll help out this week. No problem. Totally ignoring the fact that I work on Saturday and I have no idea what my truck looked like after a hell of a week. And let's see, the game started at 11:15 and it's down there. Not in Dalton, but it's close. I won't say exactly where, but it's close. The tunnel area, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And
the tunnel with all the tunnels.
Yeah. They played in the tunnel, no.
Yeah.
And I'm all the way out there at Brainerd. The game started at 11:15. I left my Walmart at 10:30, and I was like, I'm going to be late, aren't I? But I was not late. But I was worried I was going to be late.
150 down the highway.
No, I went relatively speed limit.
Yeah,
my car couldn't go fast if you wanted it to.
I mean, I could make your car go fast. Your car wouldn't be drivable after.
Wouldn't handle it, yeah. Just absolutely wouldn't handle it. I'll be the first one to tell you that.
But yeah, this week was something.
Yeah, I had 1,000 cases come in my Walmart today.
Woo! I think my order for 669 was 6 carts, and then the neighborhood market had 4 carts of its own. So,
it was
great. for like 3 days.
Very little work. Loved it. 10 out of
Yeah,
10.
it was perfect. We should do that every day.
Wouldn't change a thing. 3 out of 5 stars.
But then, yeah, I think Monday's also going to be heavy to try and still pick up from everything. So that'll be nice. If I can deal with that on a Monday.
Yeah, I can deal with Monday stuff. That's whatever. Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Our trucks are going to be roughly the same size, if not larger, on Monday. Still trying to catch up.
Oh my God, I'm having the worst time trying to get this off.
You should use your hands instead of your feet.
Foot stream.
But yeah, you'll make $1 million.
It'll be that thing where it's totally easier to be a female streamer. All I have to do is show some cleavage.
Yeah, man.
What do you think, Dakota? Do you think it's easier to be a female streamer?
I think it's easier to be a woman, period.
Oof.
To some extent.
Oh, now we're getting into some content. I love it. This is content now.
I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. I think life can be easy mode for anybody, given the right circumstances. But in general, I think in a lot of the most common ways, yeah, being female makes things easier. I mean, they got to deal with other shit that we don't have to deal with.
Yeah.
True.
No, absolutely.
I mean, I don't have to worry about my genitals bleeding like every month.
Well, not on purpose.
So
Yeah.
that's a plus. And I think I would take that over playing on easy mode in life, but that's just me.
It's just you. Genital bleeding confirmed. Oh, you sexist. Oh, you sexist.
Could be. Might be. Who knows? I don't fucking care. I hate everybody equally. Fuck.
You even hate me.
Fuck. Yeah, man. To a certain extent, I hate everybody. Really not.
I don't know why that bugs me that I'm included in your hate list.
I mean, everybody is. Everybody, to a greater or lesser extent, everybody is. It just depends on how much I hate you in particular. You were on the list of people I can stand to be in a chat with for longer than like an hour.
Well, God, we only got 30 minutes left then.
Yeah. It's just like, even when I go up to like Austin JL's house, I still don't stay up there very long. I'm just like, I just want to be at home. I just want to be left alone. And I used to go to her house and like, I'd fucking stay there for a week. Back when I used to work like 4 hours on Sunday when we worked at Ingles, remember?
Right.
There were periods of time where I would do that part, like do that work, and then I would just go to her house for like a week and just literally just stay there. Wouldn't even go home. And now I'm like, I gotta be home. I can't be fucking hanging out.
Cubs can have Blake Snow. Yeah, sure, they can have Blake. Whatever.
I think bears can do whatever they want.
Yeah, the Bears.
Except
Riley Cat,
Cubs.
what are you doing, man?
Cubs probably being the shithead like always.
He is. He is absolutely just love him to death. He's crap. Yeah, I remember you going up there all the time. I think I've been over there. I mean, I don't know if they still live in the same area, but I remember going to their house twice. I think they lived in that house that was like up on the, like way in the woods, or not way in the woods, but it was kind of hard to find their driveway. It was on the north end of Dalton, if I remember correctly.
North end of Dalton. I'm trying to think. Have you been to their house since he and Austin have been together?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was about to say, because you confused me there for a second. Because the last time I knew for sure was back when you and Candace were together.
Yeah.
And that was like fucking 25 lifetimes ago. Yeah, I went up there at some point.
Yeah, when she lived in that mansion.
Yeah.
Mansion, so to speak, man.
I guess I probably went up there during my last vacation, which was October. I usually don't go up there from like my last vacation of the year till my next vacation because there's so much shit to do between like October through January. Yeah, anyway.
But mine hitting Blake Snell with a power washer. You are just... You have such a bitterness to our guy you've never met.
I mean, that's fine. I fucking hate people I've never met. But I live in that constant state, so I don't know if that procs for this situation.
It doesn't.
I support you hating whoever you want to hate.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just curious. Like, well, I probably shouldn't say that, but
I don't give a fuck. You can text me and I'll say it.
no, it's nothing bad. It's just I know you're gonna disagree with me on it.
Let's say it. I love to disagree with you.
Okay. I think you should have a legit reason to hate somebody.
Yeah. I mean, my overall hate is just because I don't like people in general.
Oh yeah, no, I mean I'm the same way.
I don't. Usually, if I specifically hate someone, yeah, I usually have a pretty good reason for it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Don't get me wrong, but I mean I'm in the highest IQ representation of our society every day, so.
Oh yeah, man, that'll make you question your sanity.
It does make me feel better about myself when it comes to my intellect. Like, I'm not the smartest person in the world.
I am. I don't give a fuck.
But I am not Walmart trash. Sorry. I'm not saying everyone that shops at Walmart's trash. I'm not saying that at all. But the Walmart that I work
There's
in...
a high percentage of them.
There is a very high percentage of them. Yes. And there was a lady... Actually, I got a story about that, too. There was a lady that came in there today, and she reminded me of one of my pet peeves that I have about people in general. And it was people that talk on their phone in public on speaker.
Oh, yeah.
I don't need to hear your conversation. Like, I do not care about your conversation. And then you're just
Caveat.
Yeah.
I give credit because my grandmother does that all the time, but she fucking can't hear shit.
Well,
so
look, that's different.
The older people that literally seem like they can't hear, but other than that,
that's different.
People are fucking annoying.
Like, if you're capable of not using the speaker, you should probably do that. Because I don't want to hear about your sex life. Okay?
You should not want me to hear your conversation.
Yeah.
Is a better way to phrase that. Like, why do you want me and everybody in a fucking 5-mile radius to hear your stupid ass conversation you're having?
And then they get mad when you're just kind of looking because they're yelling in the store on their phone.
Cool.
Which, that happened too.
Just, yeah. People are fucking...
I don't know who she was talking to because the person on the other end of the phone didn't say anything. Mm-hmm. But what if they have an Apple Watch and talk through that? Mm-hmm. That's borderline. I'll admit that's borderline. I don't hate... Okay, maybe I should rephrase it. I don't hate people that do it. I just don't understand why. I guess that's a better...
I don't understand... Like, I guess that's kind of like having a headset where it's supposed to be more convenient, but it takes half the convenience of having the fucking headset. Because on a headset, at least most of the ones I've owned, just like earbuds,
yeah,
either they have like a system where it's just like a touchpad, or it's an actual button you press. And if you get a call, you tap or push that one time, and it answers the call. How is that any less convenient than having to put your whole fucking wrist up and tap there?
I guess just, you can have two hands to work with instead of one.
Maybe. But, I mean, it takes literally half a second. That's why I have a headset, like an earbud in at all times, because it just makes that more convenient when somebody calls.
Oh, yeah, no, I saw Bolus the other day, and he saw me with my headphones in. He goes, who are you talking to? And I said, nobody. He goes, what you listening to? And I said, about a murder in Alaska. So.
Sure, that was pretty fucking great for him.
He didn't say anything. He said, oh, okay.
See, here's the thing, though. I don't know I don't know if that would have been better if you would have at least been like, "Oh, I'm listening to a podcast," because you're just sitting there saying, "Oh yeah, I'm just listening about Alaskan murders,"
Yeah.
and like I gotta wonder what that process is in his brain. Like, what the fuck is he? Or does he know? Like, well, I don't know him well enough to know if he
I don't either.
fucking knows what podcasts are.
I don't know either. That's why I just flat out told him. I was just like, I mean, if he tells me to take it out, I'll take it out, and then when he leaves, I'll just put it right back in. I mean, it's not gonna matter to me. I mean, I'm doing my job. My job is done. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a firm supporter of hating people in general. Hating the human race. I hate humans. Fucking suck.
Yeah, I guess I just don't. My social skills are very bad, and that's part of it for me. It's just I'm awkward at times, and I just
still
don't.
remember to this day.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
When I came, I don't know what was going on. I don't know, because it was back when you worked the Food Line in Rocky Face.
Mm.
So I don't know what the situation was. If I was just out or if I was working, it got done. I don't know what I was working at that time. And I came over there for some reason. I was coming to see you because I think we had planned to go eat. And Jeremy was there.
Jeremy.
Doing something. Either he's doing a walk through the store or doing
drinking
something
alcohol.
with you. Yeah.
Oh, that was the day he was doing my time thing. I know what day you're talking about. He was secretly testing me on how fast I was going.
Oh,
I remember that.
I've never had that happen.
It was so annoying because he didn't tell me. He just stood at the end of the aisle and looked at his watch. Anyway, sorry, you were saying?
Yeah, I've never had that happen. That's weird. But I remember coming in there for whatever reason. Like I said, I think we had planned to try and eat. And I came over there, and he just happened to be, and I guess at this point he was done with whatever the fuck he was doing with you. Because y'all were talking, and I came in and was like, "Oh, what's up, Jeremy?" I was just talking to him. Me and you and him were kind of talking. And he was, I guess y'all were both getting ready to leave, so we all walked out. And we just told him we were going to go eat. We went to that Subway in that same lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember you just saying to him, he's like, "Man, I wish I could talk to Jeremy the way you do." And I had no idea what the fuck you were talking about. He's like, "Yo, you just talk to him all like easily, just like saying, 'Hey, what's up?'" And I'm like, "I mean, yeah, I just do. It's the first time anybody said anything like that." And I'm like, I guess I do.
That's because my previous interactions with him was always something was up. Like he didn't come to me to just chat. You know, it was always like, "What happened in this store? What's going on here? Why is this display not built? Why do I put my finger up my ass? I don't get it." It's just.
Yeah, I mean, he never got a hold of me. That's like I always tell people when I first started working as a detailer for Jeremy. I did the whole like interview process. Got started. He talked to me like the first couple of days I was working because I think I missed some stuff. But after I got everything down that I was working, I didn't talk to him for like 6 months. Like we had like short text here and there, but I didn't have an actual conversation with him for like 6 months. Then he asked me to come up to the office to do some training shit, and I talked to him then, and then left and didn't talk to him for another 3 months.
That was the way. Any day I didn't talk to him was a good day.
Cool. Any day I don't talk to anybody but the people on my route is a great fucking day.
I still swear that he came to work drunk.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Like there's.
Hey, he got away with it, so whatever.
I think they just choose to let him get away with it.
Probably, maybe, I don't know. I have heard since he like left and went to that new job he does, which I saw him when we had to go up and get like the new phones and everything.
Mm.
He was actually up there the day I went, and I talked to him for a minute. But I heard like he was really like burnt out from being a DSL for the last like few years. That's one of the reasons he got out of it. So I hope he's happy with whatever he's doing.
I mean, yeah. Yeah. I want him to be happy for sure. I just don't like talking to him. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
You be happy. Leave me alone.
Yeah, that's my general state of being. I'm happy for you, dog, but fucking just don't talk to me.
Yeah. You can be happy over yonder.
Wander over yonder. But yeah, I think about that constantly. Like it pops up in my head every now and then. I'm just like, yeah, I guess I do talk to him pretty casually. I'm like, because I'm just never giving a shit whether someone was a boss or not. I'm just like, if I like you, I'll talk to you. If not, then I'll make this conversation as short as fucking possible.
I think that was part of it because every time I talked to Jeremy, or there was most times where I talked to him, and he would bring you up in the conversation. It didn't matter what we were talking about, and this was most conversations. And he always would say nice things about you, and I'm just like, yeah, that's great. What's this have to do with me? Like we're here having a one-on-one. What's Dakota have to do with our one-on-one?
Oh, that's just interesting to hear.
Yeah, it was never nothing bad. It was just like, I guess he knew because you helped me get my job.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
I guess that's how he always tied us together was,
Probably because we knew each other from before working at Frito-Lay.
Yeah.
So it just seemed kind of obvious thing to say.
It was like, I'm glad he's doing good, but what's that have to do with us? Then again, I'm getting paid to sit here and listen to you talk about somebody else, so I'm gonna keep talking.
Yeah. He was trying to have like, hey, you be more like Dakota. And if I heard that, I'd be like, you want him to hate people more than he does? Because let me tell you, you might think Amos hates working in Walmart's. And you'd be right, he hates it more than I do, but I could guarantee you he don't hate fucking people more than I do. It's a wonder I keep a fucking job like this, to be honest. I just want to scream at people all the time. And I don't know how I keep my friendly demeanor about it.
Yeah, it's quite a test at times. Trying to not say inappropriate things to people. Especially here in the doggone South, I tell you what.
I mean, I've met some of the nicest people in Walmart.
Oh, yeah.
I've also met some of the fucking dumbest goddamn idiots it's ever been my displeasure to have to know was part of my race.
So shall we make this a Walmart stereotype broadcast? Let's do it.
Sure, man.
What's the number one stereotype of Walmart to you? I've got a great answer for that. I'm going to let you go.
You give me your answer because I'm having trouble like trying to think of what you're actually asking me for some reason.
Like when you think Walmart, what is the number one like negative stereotype of Walmart? Like for example, generally speaking, this ain't my answer, but this is the first thing that comes to mind. Generally speaking, people think like people that wear pajamas in Walmart all the time. Like you don't dress up to go to Walmart.
I could kind of see where you're coming from, yeah. But I feel like that's not really a thing anymore because they got rid of the 24-hour thing.
Yeah, that's true.
So I feel like people don't really see that anymore because now they know they can't get in till like 6 o'clock or maybe 5 if they still do that like senior early time thing. I don't know if they do or not. I don't know. I mean, when I think of Walmart, like working them and stuff and being in them, because I don't think about it in terms of when I'm shopping. Because when I go into Walmart and I'm shopping for something, it's literally walk in, walk to the thing I want, grab it, buy it, walk out. Like I'm not in there long enough to be worried about what's happening. But working in it, it's usually two things. On the customer side, it's these customers I would see all the time when I worked as a detailer, where it would be a big family. It'd be like, mom and a dad and like 2 or 3 kids, right?
Yeah.
Which is fine. They'll come through and sometimes they'll like block up the aisle and because they're all looking for what they want. It's a little annoying, but they usually move on pretty quick. It's when a big family meets another big family shopping and they want to fucking talk. Right? And they get together and like, oh, hey, ain't seen you in a while, this, that, and other thing. And there's like, I said, I'm talking about like a mom and a dad, like 2 or 3 kids. It's another family of a mom and a dad and 2 or 3 kids. and they'll bunch up at the end of the fucking aisle, blocking everybody's, not just me, because I'm not mad about me, because I can figure out a way around, but they'll block up the end of the aisle, and no customer can get by them. It infuriates the shit out of me.
All right, so before I answer, well, I guess this ties into my answer, but do you want to hear my conspiracy theory that's totally not true, but I would like to think it's true about Walmart?
Sure, man.
All right, so I think I may have told you this before. I don't know. I think. Well, I guess I should start off with my answer. My answer for the most stereotypical thing, in my opinion, for Walmart is, for some reason, when people walk into a Walmart, they just get dumber. Like, people just get dumber. Like, they get slower, they get dumber, and they just don't know how life works anymore.
Yeah, I could say that.
So, and I've had those brain fart moments too. But, so my conspiracy theory that's totally not true, but I would like for it to be true, is, I think Walmart releases a chemical, like a tasteless, odorless chemical through their vents, right?
Oh, yeah.
And when you go inside and you obviously breathe it in, you get dumber, you get slower, and because you're dumber and slower, you buy more things. Because I cannot tell you how many people drive vehicles, right? They drive cars, they navigate roads, they navigate red light, stop signs, big curves, all that stuff. Construction work, cars, right? Big trucks, whatever. And then they walk in Walmart and they just don't know how to get the fuck out of the way. like everyone else just disappears. They're just like the only person in that store. And that just frustrates me to death. But as soon as they walk back out, they say hi to people. They run quickly across the road when cars are coming. You know, the cars let them go. And I'm just like, there has to be something in the air here. Like, obviously that's not true, but I'm just saying that.
If you found out it was true, it wouldn't surprise you very much.
No, it would not. But
that does bring up a thing about another
conversation.
store.
That's the point of these, Gabe.
What is it? Fucking, what's the damn store?
Not reach that roof. I'm too short. Even in a game, I'm too short.
Swedish store where people buy shit from.
IKEA.
I don't know if this is true or if it's like a fucking internet meme or not. But they say the way IKEAs are designed is to confuse you, to keep you in that store longer, so you will buy more shit. I don't know if that's true or if it's an internet like meme that people have just like made a thing.
I've heard that said about Costco.
Costco's another one, but IKEA is the one I really hear because they say that like you just go in there and there's no like. Do you know what flow of traffic is for a store? So, you know, like from working at Ingles, I still remember this to this day. 90% of the people that walk into the Ingles here.
I do too, Gabe. I hate going in there as well, man.
Where we met, they will go to the produce side, right? They go over through produce. They go past the bakery and the deli. Over to meat department, and either they go through all meat department and then start going down aisles, or they will go down aisles and slowly check the meat department as they come back up an aisle.
Right.
Like, I remember that flow of traffic constantly. And then you get the few people that'll go to, like, you know, the cold, or go to, like, the drink section or all that instead, because they're just buying, like, one specific thing. But yeah, I could see that in like a Costco or an IKEA with how big those stores are and how their shit is just like.
Hold on. IKEA restaurant? We're not talking about a restaurant.
Did I say restaurant?
No. It's a furniture store. Is there a restaurant?
Well, IKEA is also known for having food. They have food. Like the thing I know about is what is it? People always talk about the meatballs there, I think, is like a big thing.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if they have like direct, like I know Costco is really known for that, but I don't know if IKEA's like got a food section like Costco does. I think they just have maybe food in the place somehow. I have no idea, but I know it's like IKEA meatballs are a thing people have talked about before.
I've never been in IKEA. I've just always known that it's been a furniture store.
I don't know if it's just the furniture store. I think it's just a lot of
Well,
furniture, but
hot
I think
diggity
it's like
dog.
household stuff.
You learn something new every day.
But
Sorry, you were saying.
I forgot what I was saying.
I'm so sorry. You were talking about the flow of traffic and how
Oh yeah,
some people.
like a lot of stores, you can tell what the flow of traffic is just from walking in. But I feel like stores like kind of like Walmart's, but especially stores that are bulk stores like Costco or
Warehouse store.
stuff like that. Yeah, they obviously don't have probably a real flow of traffic in them because you can just kind of go wherever as soon as you get out or get into the store. But yeah, I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, I mean, as
I
far as
just don't.
stereotype,
I'm not kidding, man. Like every day, every day I'm in that Walmart. There's at least one person, and I hate to say I judge people at times, but I do. I'm not gonna lie. I absolutely, at times, judge people. And there, every single day, there's at least one person that walks in that store, and I'm just like, how did you dress yourself? Like, how did you wake up, not get a concussion falling out of your bed? And then how did you not, like, climb out your window instead of walking through your door? How did you not get in your car backwards? How did you not get in the wrong car? You know, you show up to the store and you act like that. I mean, just like the lady I saw today, she was screaming into her phone. And I'm just like, you could just go home. Like, if this thing is such a big problem, just go home. Like, this lady is literally yelling in the middle of a store. And I just, like, on her phone. I was like, I can't ever see myself doing that unless it was like an emergency. But if it was an emergency, I wouldn't be shopping in a grocery store. I'd be leaving.
yeah. I don't understand those people being able to just have full conversations just where anybody can hear them. Because I'm like, I don't want you to hear my conversation. Like, what the fuck are you on about?
There's a food court inside IKEA.
Okay, I guess there is a food court. I see. I never knew whether there was or wasn't one. I just knew people have talked about Swedish meatballs in IKEA
Swedish
before.
meatballs.
Yeah, so I'm like, I know that's a thing. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if they had a food court. That makes sense.
That's cool.
I know one of the big memes is about people getting lost in IKEAs.
That's funny. I'm sorry.
That's an actual meme. I know, because the whole meme is like they designed the store so people get lost, and then an employee comes and just wraps them in an employee vest and like it'll be all right.
You're home now, son.
Yeah. Fucking love that meme. It's so fucking stupid.
We'll get to another thing that ticks me off.
Sure, man.
Can we get into that? Or are you done with
Grind
your
your
thought?
gear?
Yeah.
Dude.
Welcome to Grind Your Gear Saturdays. No, and this, I'm a parent, and this bugs me to death, so you could probably roll your eyes if you want. I don't know how parents go into a big store with other people on the aisle, and they leave their kid in the shopping cart, and they walk like 20 feet away. That bugs me so much. I'm just like, boy, I can't imagine why kids are getting kidnapped. Because you're a dumbass. That's why. I mean...
Yeah, I mean...
take your kid with you. I just don't... Even if it's crowded. I mean, even if it's crowded, you have two choices. You have two logical choices. You could just wait and come back. Or you can take your kid with you. Pick your kid up out of the buggy. Take your kid with you. Is it a little inconvenient? Sure. But it's better. You know what's more inconvenient? Having your kid taken from you. That's pretty inconvenient. And it just...
Yeah, I can see that.
It bugs me so much. I hate that with a burning passion.
I feel like that's more of a more modern thing with like shit being bad. Because I remember like walking around in Walmarts with like mom and dad or my grandparents. You just like you being a kid, you'll just go look at shit and then they'll just walk off the aisle without you. And I'm just like, and then you got like the option like you got to go running after them or you fucking start panicking, crying.
Yeah, there was when Bilos were still a thing. And I'll say my hometown because I don't live there anymore. But when I grew up in Trenton, and we had a Bilo there, that was all like, wow. Obviously, I went with my mom for grocery shopping, and I'm like, maybe even Leo's age, maybe a little older, but I would go off 10 aisles over.
Yep.
And mom wouldn't worry about it because she took a direct path. Like, she took a certain path through that store every time we went grocery shopping. So
Yep.
she would either see me there, or not her, me, would be running around the store going, Mom, where are you?
Yep.
You know?
My thing was, you remember back when Walmart's had actual consoles in the gaming department?
Yeah, breaking your neck, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder how many people got like fucking carpal tunnel or some shit in their fucking neck because of that. But when I got to the point where I could just like play any kind of game, like I would just check games out, because I always wanted to go. I was one of those kids. I always wanted to at least stop by a place. So if we went into the mall down here, you know, I always wanted to go to the arcade in there. I was like, I always wanted to just at least stop in there, even if I didn't play anything. I just wanted to go in and like see all the games and stuff. And at Walmart's, it was always going to the little game cabinets. And I remember specifically going there and playing games, and I would just be left there.
Yeah.
While they went and finished shopping. I'm just like, cool, I'll hang out. And if I got bored, I would just go hunting for them, just looking up and down the aisles. If I didn't find them after a while, I would. It would just depend. Like, I'd either go back to the game and just hang out there. I remember a few times they would come to get me and I walked off. And they'd be mad at me because I walked off.
Now, look, there's times where I'm in Publix with Leo and we're getting a few things. And we'll go down the cereal aisle and I'll go, all right, son. And there's other people down the aisle. But I'll be like, all right, son, go pick out your cereal. And he'll walk like 5 feet away from me. But the difference there is that I'm watching him the whole time. And I'm just like, if someone even touches my kid, I will end you. I don't care how strong you are. I don't care how much bigger you are than me. I can't even guarantee I'll end you. But I will sure as hell try. And I don't want to be tested. But, you know, it's just... I guess that's another thing, too. Like, if it's 2 old people on the aisle with me, I'm not really worried about them running off with him. You know? I'm going to chase you down. I'm going to break both your kneecaps. I mean, it's not that hard. But, you know, if it's someone around our age that might be a little more built, yeah, I'll be a little more concerned. But at the end of the day, you're trying to carry a 50-pound kid with you. You're not going to get very far. You know?
Yeah.
But,
I mean, I wonder about that kind of stuff sometimes, being like not being a parent. I'm just like, I used to be a lot more lax, and I don't know, good or bad either way.
old people.
You know,
the
I don't
thing
really know
that
how, you got to be a parent to, I guess, understand it. Because to one extent, I absolutely understand that. You don't want anything to happen to your kid. But another time, like, we did that shit all the time, and it was never a problem. But I'm also smart enough to know that things aren't like it was back in, you know, the 90s. Like,
I just think people are a little more bold now. Like, people are...
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in a good way. Like, people are just... It seems like people are more desperate now. Like, I want to fuck my life up as much as possible. How can I do that? Oh, this will be a good one. Why'd I get shot 4 times? Oh, because I tried to play a prank on somebody. Did you see that story? Did you see that?
I think I was about to say the same thing you're about to, about cops giving out a warning about some new stupid fucking challenge kids are doing. And like, hey, this will probably get you shot. And I'm like...
Is it the one about kids kicking in doors?
Maybe, I don't know. I just saw the headline for this article, and I'm like, it was so dumb, I'm like, I'm not reading this. So it could be.
Alright, I don't think that's what I was going to bring up, but I think I know what you're talking about regardless. But the one I was referring to was that delivery guy. Like, he worked for, like, DoorDash or something, and he was in a mall. And, gonna go don't fight. Dude, I will fight anybody. I don't know if I would win, but I will fight whoever I need to. If you fuck with my wife and son, I will fuck you up so bad or die trying. It is not that hard. And I mean that. Unlike other people, I'll be the first one to tell you, I don't know how I would do in a fight. I really don't. I'm not going to sit here and say, I'll kick your ass guaranteed. But I'll probably stab you, at minimum. And I'm not going to play fair. I'm not going to play fair. If you try to take my son or harass my wife, I will kick you in the nuts so hard you're going to taste them in your throat.
You're fighting. There's no fucking rules. Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah.
You either win or you lose by any means necessary. Okay,
but
shit.
Anyway, sorry. Enough of the alpha Chad, whatever bit that I'm not. But no, I mean that's how anybody should feel. That's how anybody should feel, though. I mean, if you have a child or a wife or a partner that you care about a lot, no one fucks with them. If you let someone fuck with them, if you don't defend your partner, why are you even with them? You know.
Cool.
Ask Panera how that went. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so it was that guy that he was I guess he worked for DoorDash or Uber Eats or something, and he was just in a mall picking up an order, and these I don't know if he's a TikToker or YouTuber, I really don't remember what, but it was a guy that just went up to him and he just started harassing him. Like he just went to the guy and started harassing him. I don't remember exactly what he was said. But it got to the point where the delivery driver or the delivery guy was like, hey, man, I don't know what's going on, but you need to leave me alone. And then he said, I need you to leave me alone. I need you to leave me alone. And the prankster, and I use that term very lightly because that's not a prank. That's not a prank. That's called harassment at this point. Dumbasses. The guy got close to him again. Like, he got in his face. So what did the driver do? He pulled out a pistol and shot him in the stomach.
Yup.
The guy didn't die.
Go around and find out.
Yeah, the guy didn't die, which is good. But at the same time, I'm just like, you asked for that. I cannot have pity on you. Like, your job was to literally harass this guy who was just doing his job, who's trying to make a living, while you're trying to set him off for likes. You are a pathetic person.
Famous.
Do it.
Trying to get internet famous.
Yeah.
Idiots.
Yeah. That's the one thing I hate.
Fucking people that have made a name for themselves as like YouTube pranksters or whatever literally cause I don't know how much damage to society just by making that seem like that shit is okay.
Yeah.
When it's not.
It's not.
Even if it's a harmless prank, even if it's something not like getting up in somebody's face, even if it's like, I don't know, just like, you know, the scare thing where you, have you ever seen the videos where somebody acts like a statue, not a statue, because those are like street performers, but like they'll dress up as a Halloween decoration or something and they like scare people when they come walking by?
I think so, yeah. There's
the
Bushman.
That's a simple enough prank, but there's also videos where those same people will get punched straight in the fucking face by those same people they're scaring. I'm like, that's an honest reaction, and you should never get mad, because there's one of two options. It's fight or flight.
Yeah.
And not everybody's just going to back away. Same, but with like the like YouTube pranksters and shit, it's even worse, because that's like one of the things that pissed me off the most, one of the trends in that community, was when they were going into stores and getting like 2 gallons of milk. Do you remember that?
Yeah, they were like licking ice cream and well,
not that. They would intentionally like act
throw
like
it on
they
the ground.
Yeah, and I'm like, that is so fucking infuriating, because that is not a prank. That is destruction of, you know, store property, whatever. If you're not planning on buying it, and I don't know if that people bought it or didn't buy it for the. It
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Even if they did. Unless the only exception I gave them was if you stay to clean up and you got permission from the store to do your stupid fucking stunt.
Which would be a really dumb thing for the store to do.
Yes.
Because if that prankster got hurt, that store could be sued.
Yes. So I'm like, there's no person in their right mind who would allow this shit. So you are just a fucking nuisance on society. That's all you are. You are not a prankster. You're not a YouTuber getting clout, any of that bullshit. You are just a fucking annoying piece of shit.
Ring him, Dakota. Ring him.
Fucking hate that shit so much. It's so fucking annoying. Like all the stupid shit, like the people doing like the ice cream thing you were talking about, where they were licking ice cream. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
It's all for
Like,
clout, man. They think it's the thing that gets them famous.
There's a thing. I don't know if this is a real quote from this person or not, or if it's like a
And
meme
Gabe,
that's been like played up.
Gabe,
But
yeah,
it's
I
like,
talk like that. That's probably the only time you hear me talk like that. It's just.
talk like what?
I'm guessing he's referring to my very aggressiveness when it comes to anyone messing with Vanessa or Leo.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't care. I am a completely different person if you do that. I already don't care about my reputation that much, but if it's if someone came up to Vanessa, sorry Dakota, I swear I'll let you finish your story.
No, you're good.
If someone came up to Vanessa, and I don't care if it's male or female, by the way, I do not care. If someone came
I got
up,
a great fucking quote for that. You can fucking quote me on when you get done.
someone came up to Vanessa and started harassing her, and she couldn't properly handle herself or something for whatever reason, which she can, but if she couldn't, I'm gonna deck you. I'm gonna ask you to leave. You don't leave. I'm gonna ask you to leave again. You don't leave. I'm gonna punch you in the face. Because if I ask you to leave and you're not there for good intentions, you are now a threat to my safety or her safety. That's how it works. You can sue me all you want, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna be like, well, I asked that person to leave multiple times, and they didn't leave. So I punched you in the face and knocked you out. You know? But anyway, yeah. So yeah, I do get a little aggressive. I'm very protective as a father and a husband, and I am not the most look at me. Look, I'll stand up right now. Look, Dakota can vouch for this. Dakota can vouch for this. I am not an intimidating looking person. Look, this is me.
Fucking
Look,
generic dude.
I am like white bread, white, like extra bleached white bread. Okay, but I'm not an intimidating person. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to fight for her or for him. Because that's what you're supposed to do. You don't go out looking for fights. But anyway, I'm just rambling. Sorry, Dakota. Go ahead and finish your story.
So I had two things. The thing I was saying when you got this one.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that part. I couldn't reach it.
That's why we have a ladder.
Ladder go right here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, anytime you have a ladder, it'll go like all around the building usually. What was the thing? Oh, I was saying that I don't know if this is a real thing that this person said or not. But there's a quote attributed to Mike Tyson. And again, I don't know if this is just an internet thing that's not real and it just got hyped up. But it's like a thing that people have said he said that is people have gotten
Oh, wait, think French fries.
Something like have gotten too used to saying shit on the internet and not getting punched for it.
Yeah.
Like being rude, something like that. I don't know the exact quote. And again, I don't know that it's a real quote or if it's just an internet joke that people have made. But that's a good thing. Like, yeah, people really have gotten used to the anonymity of like social media and used to not getting, a comeuppance for shit. Because on the internet, you can just say what you want with no repercussions, essentially. The other thing, what was it? It was something about what you were saying. You actually said part of it without meaning to, or not. I don't think I've ever told you my thoughts on this.
To climb a ladder.
Oh, it's where you were saying like treating somebody like a threat because you said you didn't care if they were male or female.
Yep.
That's my opinion. Like, when you are just meeting somebody like,
oh,
you having bro?
Yeah, I didn't. Sorry, let me get off my ugly face if you look at the game here.
That. We got a lot of these trims. If you want to get down, Amos, like around these things down here, Amos, I don't think we need to be up there anymore.
No, there's a spot on the wall right here.
We'll just focus on this right now. I'll handle anything up there. get on a crawl and look underneath these like little banistments around the
Oh,
sides.
yep. Oh, I missed those.
Go all the way around. Yeah, I forget them every time. But the thing to me is, when you just meet somebody, just a random person, um, you never know what they're going to be like until they start, talking or something, right?
Mm.
But you try to treat them, or at least I believe you should treat people like without any regard to, like, you can make generalizations based on, an appearance here and there. What they're wearing can give you an idea how they might be, but you try to treat everybody equal and just let them, not make like, what is it, rude generalizations about them, like being racist or anything like that.
Heard it here
Here's my
first.
thing
Don't be
though.
racist.
Once you get past that point, once somebody starts becoming like the guy who had to deal with that guy getting in his face, he asked him politely to leave him alone a couple of times, and then he did what I believe he should do and treated them as a threat because he had no idea what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And like part of what you said, you said you don't care if it's, man or woman.
Oh.
You'll try to be polite a couple of times and then it's on. I don't care if you're black, white, brown, gold, silver.
Silver.
I don't care if you're young.
But
or
you purple
old.
people better watch out. I'm just saying.
I don't care if you're young or old. I don't care what religion you are. Once you take that step past being, just a person and you start being a threat, that's what you get treated like. You stop being a man or a woman. You stop being,
Thank you.
Young or old. You stop being, whatever race you are, and you become a threat. And that's how people should treat you at that point.
Yeah. Everyone
That's exactly
deserves.
how everybody should. Not just, like you're saying, a specific situation where someone's harassing your kid or your wife, like anybody. Like in normal day-to-day life, if someone starts acting like a shithead, treat them like a shithead. I mean,
Everyone
but some
deserves an
people just-
opportunity. And, however many opportunities you give people's your call. I'm not going to judge someone if they give someone 3 chances, 4 chances, 5 chances. Doesn't matter to me. But if you keep consistently showing me that you just don't know how to be a solid human being, I don't want anything to do with you. It's not really that hard. It's just
Oh, I see. Whoop, get there.
we're not
Yes.
perfect, but we can all do better to not be jack-offs. I mean,
Yeah.
where am I missing at?
But yeah, I mean, people really have, like we were talking about earlier, it seems like things are different from when we were kids, which is obvious. Things change over time.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, people have gotten a lot more comfortable with just doing whatever they want because I think a lot of it's social media. Like I said, people have gotten used to being able to say whatever they want online, but they decouple that from reality and being in a public place. Like pranksters, YouTube pranksters, whatever, TikTok, wherever they come from. They think, because that's one of the things that people, when things go wrong, they're always like, one of the things they'll yell is, "Oh, there's a camera! There's a camera! There's a camera!" There being a camera there doesn't excuse you being.
Yeah,
a
no,
shit.
that doesn't get you out of jail free card. Is there an achievement for this one?
I think there is. Let me look.
Old Nantucket.
But they say that shit like it gives like a fair game to do whatever they want. I'm like, no, it doesn't.
Like, good. The camera could be there when I beat your ass for.
House, fire truck, skateboard.
Where's
Complete the soul of the shoe house last. Okay, so here I'll do this. Where's the
soul? So this
Right,
bottom.
see the glowing part? So all the way around the whole bottom. It can be cleaned a little bit. Just make sure not to clean the whole thing before we finish everything else.
That part, right? That
yeah,
part?
just the whole section.
Okay.
Like I'll keep it selected. That way it glows. Did it glow for you? Is it glowing like right now?
Everything's glowing.
No. Not when you type the thing. I'm talking about like right now. It should be flashing like white over the soul right now.
No.
Okay, so hit the start button.
Okay.
And look through that menu till you see this the sole. It should be between like shoelace and stairs.
Okay, the soul. All right.
And
Oh,
click on
there
it,
it
and it
is.
should turn red. And now that'll glow. So that'll give you can leave that up if you want. That'll make sure you know not to.
That doesn't
Like, would
count
you have
as
to clean
scary.
this whole thing all the way around the whole bottom before that becomes a problem. So it shouldn't matter.
Easy enough.
Yeah, I mean, well,
By the way, Gabe, I'm just gonna choose 49ers. I don't really know why. Just
mine are 49er.
49ers. Shout out to Scooby Doo. Yeah, pranksters suck. I don't know how people like pranksters. I don't get it. Maybe I'm just old, and this is me waving my cane at the sky. But to me, pranksters are just not funny.
Old man waves the clouds.
That's my other channel. It's just me standing outside waving at a cloud.
It's just fucking full yell at the top of your lungs. Ah! Take a break. Yell some more. Yeah, I also don't understand like what you're saying about how people like them. I don't know how anybody could look like when they were in their like the whole milk thing where they were just dropping gallons of milk in stores. How did you watch that as a person? Like whether maybe you had a creator of that content that you liked and had watched before this, and they start doing that. How do you not instantly see how that's a problem? Like, and that really made me struggle for a long time with like, how do people watch this and aren't mad about it at their content creator? Even if your content creator did something completely different and like say this was the first time they were doing it, you should instantly see why that's a bad thing. Like, well, what they're doing is like how it affects the people in the store and all that. And like I said, even in the hypothetical scenario that they got permission and they pay for the product and they help clean up, you're still disturbing the customers, the employees with this bullshit you're doing.
Yeah, not everyone's in on the joke.
Yeah.
You know, you go down the aisle and you see someone licking product. I mean,
yeah, and that was even worse. That was like, I thought that was a fucking joke. I thought someone legitimately was making up something stupider than like the Tide Pods and like people dropping the milk and everything. And when I found out it was real, I'm like, how the fuck do you get to that point? Like, what is? I don't I still can't fully conceptualize how that became a thing.
can't put a sentence in.
It just blows my mind. Like, you got to be the dumbest fucking person.
I think part of the problem, I mean, it's not necessarily social media. I think it's that people think they can get famous by doing anything. But when you look at a lot of content creators that are famous, it's because they did something that leaves a positive impact. No matter how aggressive they are. Like, do you know who Dr. Disrespect is?
Yep.
You heard of him? So, like, we all know he's aggressive toward people, right? Like, he's
That's
pretty
his
aggressive. But he's also, I mean, he's a dad, he's a husband. He also knows how to care for people. You know, he's known as a character to be a jerk, but as a person, he seems pretty legit. Like, he seems really nice, and he actually cares about people. He likes to give good content to people that watch him. But these pranksters that do it, they're just scummy people. Like, even acting like you're not doing anything wrong, it's just, I don't get it. I honestly do not get it.
And you might be 100% right with what you said a few minutes ago about maybe we're just old and we just can't see it. You know, it's like it's the Simpson meme where Homer's dad comes in, he's like, I used to be with it, and then they changed what it was, and it'll happen to you one day too.
I'm gonna make that my profile thing.
It could be that, maybe. I don't know. I don't see it. I really don't. And that's like Dr. Disrespect. I know he got into a lot of trouble at one point because he was like filming in a bathroom, I think.
Yeah, it was at a con.
Yeah, and like that could be an instance where he let the character go too far without realizing what he was doing. And I understand how that can happen because it's a performance piece, is what it is. He is playing a character, which I think is one of the reasons I don't really watch people like him. I watch people like Ray Where the only difference with Ray, and he said this multiple times on his streams, between him when streaming and him when he's just, with his, wife and his dogs and or he's with his friends is he's just quieter. Because he does play a little bit up because he's a content creator.
Mm-hmm.
But he is still essentially the same person. He's just quieter because he's not reacting to the games he's playing or whatever.
Right.
And I enjoy content like that more than I do things that are like people playing a persona, like I don't, or playing the game persona.
Yeah, like this is who I am. Like when I stream, this is me. I'm not I haven't changed anything. This is literally who I am. When I say stupid things at times, I say stupid things in real life. I mean, I'd like to think I'm
and
pretty
when I
smart,
say that,
but...
I'm pretty unapologetic about the things that I think and say and enjoy, and sometimes I'm wrong. But like I said, when I said I hate people earlier, Amos knows this. He'll tell you. I genuinely just do not like people. I've got a few people. Like I can tell you, outside of family, there are probably 5 people I can think of off the top of my head that I care enough about to deal with it for an extended period. It's you, Brian, who's a school friend. I mean, from 5th grade, I've known Brian.
Yeah, and we used to
Travis,
play together.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Go look at our old podcast, you know who.
Yeah. Travis, who's another school friend. I think he was actually a friend of Brian's before I met him. And then JL and Austin. Those are the 5 people I can tell anybody I will reliably be able to hang out with those people for an extended period of time before I'll get. And I fully admit it, and I've told JL this, what I said earlier. I really just don't have the mental energy anymore to hang out for very long. Like, it's just too much. I just want to be at home. I just want to hang out. And like I said, I used to stay at JL's house for weeks at a time. Like, when I was working 4 hours at Ingles, and then I would spend the rest of the week at JL's house. I wouldn't come home except for maybe a day or two and talk to Mom, and then I'd be gone again. But now I just can't do it. I can't stay there a full night anymore. The last time I stayed a full night at JL's was because I drank too much and I literally passed out. I was blackout drunk, and that was before that had been 4 or 5 years since I'd ever stayed over a night. Because I can't do it anymore. I want to be home. I want to be in my own bed, my own stuff. But yeah, I'm just me. I mean, I think we both are. We just, we don't put on a persona before we hit the record button or the stream button. We just fucking go with it. If it's good, fucking great. It's not. Our content is for us. For us.
Yeah.
If I could speak correctly.
And if people like it and they stick around, appreciate you very much.
Oh, yeah.
I really do. I don't change anything. Raven don't change anything in his broadcasts. And there's a lot of people out there like that. Don't get me wrong. Where it's not like we're revolutionizing anything, but
no, God no. If anything, we're doing it worse.
Too tiring. Yeah. Not wrong. I
just fucking wanna. I just want to bring fucking our stupid fucking jokes to people. Not even our jokes, just the stupid shit we do all the time. Like where we fucking. What was the fucking thing when we were playing Gears and you started screaming? And I started singing that fucking song.
Take me to church.
I don't even remember what
that was the Take Me to Church by Hosier.
Well, we both have it clipped.
Oh yeah, I got it clipped.
Singing that day. I have it highlighted. You have it clipped somewhere if y'all want to find that. It's funny as shit. God damn, that was so funny. It just worked out so perfect with you screaming like that. You screamed perfectly to match up to that fucking song. So fucking
good times. Not a hard person to please. Give me a good joke,
You are the joke.
I am the joke. I laugh at myself a lot.
Works out, because I'm also the joke. So's Brian.
The other 23 hours a day, I hate myself, but it's all right.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, well, A
little self-deprecation keeps you humble. Keeps you from becoming a fucking YouTube prankster.
Saves me from licking ice cream.
Yeah, man. God damn.
Except for mine.
Yeah, man.
I totally eat out of the tub at home. Kidding me?
Dude, I've got a fucking. I just remembered that I bought. There's a brand of ice cream they started selling at Ingles. It's called like Hudsonville, I think. And they have an old ice cream flavor that I only ever. Well, I knew it by a different name. So, over where I live in the town I live in.
Yep.
I just realized my fucking or my PNG tuber and my frame were blocking up the percentages. Not important. Fuck y'all.
Yeah, my webcam is set on top of my monitor, so I can't see the percentage at the top left. But I don't want to move it because if I move it, it'll be so off-centered. I'm going to be looking at that more than...
Cool.
Anyway.
But it's called Hudsonville. Oh, what I say? If you were to leave Ingles, Amos, like going to Dalton,
Yep.
there's the store that's in that little like corner there. Or there's the road that leads like going into Chatsworth, and there's the road that leads past the schools. That little store in that little corner there.
Like in downtown?
This is in Chatsworth.
Oh, okay.
You know what? I don't give a fuck. I live in Chatsworth. I don't give a fuck. Come over here.
Well, you don't. Shit. You live close to it.
Fuck.
The little store.
It used to have a car washing, but they got rid of that shit.
Oh, at that red light where CVS is or whatever?
Yeah, there you
go.
That place used to have a Baskin Robbins. Like a little counter.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, years ago. They had a flavor in there called Superman. Couldn't tell you what the actual flavoring for it was, but it was just like red, blue, and yellow ice cream. It was super good. Loved it. And then they got rid of that place, and I never found that ice cream again until that Hudsonville brand showed up, and they have a brand called Super Scoop, which is the same color scheme. And I'm like, I wonder if that's the same thing I used to get from the Baskin Robbins thing in that store, or in that convenience store. And I bought it, and it is. And it's just so fucking good. So I buy a tub like every other week and just put it in because my mini fridge in my room has an actual freezer attachment on it.
Mini fridge, bros.
Or what? Well, not an attachment, because I had a mini fridge once that just had literally like I don't know if you know how freezers work, Amos.
Here they get cold.
Yeah. It just had a metal, inside the fridge itself, like the actual fridge compartment, it just had a little metal slat that came down, and that was the freezer, and it stayed way colder than the fridge itself. But it didn't work well because you need to kind of have, the freezer needs to be its own thing. It can't work inside of a fridge, even if it's staying super cold. It was good enough to hold, like, if I bought, like, a frozen dinner or something, I could throw it in there, and it would stay good enough till I ate it later in the day. But it couldn't keep ice cream cold enough. But the one I have now actually has a freezer compartment. So I just buy a gallon of that ice cream, and I just throw it in there, and I'll just eat on it randomly whenever I think about it. I don't know how we got on that. But
how about ice cream?
Because of people licking ice cream. But yeah, I don't know. There's too much stupid shit in the world. Too many stupid people. We need to have like a fucking whatever it is.
Well, we almost had a purge in 2020.
We need a fucking extinction level event to happen. Clear some of the people off the board.
What's that joke by Chris Porter? You know who Chris Porter is, don't you? The comedian.
I think I've seen him before. Yeah.
He told a joke about He starts off by saying, he goes, "Now I would never believe we should never start rounding people up for their beliefs." And he was talking about well, God, I'm already telling this joke wrong. And he goes, but if we were to start, we should start with these window lickers. And he's talking about how he Googled. He goes, I just wanted to search the most ridiculous thing possible. So I went to Google and I typed the sun is bullshit. And he goes, you know what should have happened when I typed that in? Nothing. Nothing should have came on my screen. Google should have sent a team to demo my roof and jump in, and I should have had to holy crap. I should have had to explain in triplicate why I just typed in the sun is bullshit. But no, that's not what happened. There was stuff that came up. And he goes, and here's how we deal with these people. You go, hey man, sun real? Yeah, move along. Hey man, sun real? I'm not too sure. Fucking get in the truck. He goes, and then you take them to Arizona in August and you flippin' leave them. Come back 3 days later and you go, hey, what you think about the sun now?
That's like the fucking... It boggles my mind that the fucking flat earth people are a real thing.
Yeah, he talks about that again too in his comedy. Like, it's an old special, but he talks about that too. And he goes, people think the earth is flat again. How many science classes did you have to fail? And then he goes, what about when, have you seen that? Have you ever seen a picture of the earth from space? What, did you think we got the right angle every freaking time? Oh, this is so funny.
People are fucking stupid. I hate people.
There's a clip I highly recommend you to look at. You may have seen it already, but it's a, I don't know if it was a show, if it was a special, I don't know what it was. But the clip was, there was a flat earther and a scientist. According to the flat earther, they're both scientists, but whatever. And basically, the scientist sits there and watches the flat earther try to prove the earth is flat. I think that was the premise of the show. And he does an experiment. I don't remember how the experiment went. I think it had to do with like bending light or something. Mm-hmm. And basically, the flat earther's experiment that he completely did, like the scientist did nothing but watch him do the experiment. That's it. Like, he didn't have no say in it. He didn't build anything. He didn't touch anything. The only thing the scientist was doing was asking the guy questions as he was making the experiment. Like, what's the purpose of this? What's the purpose of that? And during the experiment, it disproved his theory that the earth was flat. Like,
I was about to say, I feel like this is a thing I've heard where the fucking guy disproved his own fucking
yeah,
theory.
he did. Like, the light bent, and he just goes, huh. Like that, just, huh. And then the scientist's like, okay, well, we did your experiment. What do you think now? And the guy had the audacity to look at the scientist and say, something must have not worked right. I'm just like, what? Like, your brain? That's not working.
People are just so
it is so amazing that, you know, people have asked before, like, what's the number one threat to civilization? And it's not, in my opinion, it's not, I talked about this on my stream before. It's not, I don't think it's religion. I don't think it's terrorism, per se. I think it's ego. I think ego is one of those.
I was about to say, the problem is people, and this has been said by a bunch of people over the years.
Oh, yeah.
It's not that people are more concerned with being right than they are about being correct.
Yep.
And that is the most dangerous thing on the fucking planet, is somebody who just wants to be right. And I'm like, you can't, man. Like, I've been on this earth 31 years. It's going to be 32 in October.
Yeah, boy.
And if I went 30 years without having learned to change my ideas and learning some new things, and I really don't like having to do new shit. I hate it. But you just can't. You can't exist as a functional human being without learning new perspectives on shit.
Right.
I just like people disprove this fucking flat Earth theory because people believe that as like the legitimate scientific fact.
Yeah.
I don't know fucking dates, but fucking centuries ago.
I wish Facebook would stop targeting me with that page. That's really insulting.
Yeah. And I'm like, how do you?
Everyone know the Earth is a cube.
Fucking. Fucking see, that would be interesting at least, because the planetary bodies are spheres. They're saying it's flat. I want some reputable scientist to come out and tell me that planets are, dodecahedrons. That would be interesting at least to hear about.
Where do you think the GameCube came from? Come on. No, that's it. Going back to Chris Porter real quick, he talked about that as well. He goes, what about if Earth was flat? He's like, going back to the Earth was flat. It's like, do you think Christopher Columbus, when he sailed, do you think the Queen of Spain or whatever gave her 3 best ships to a guy that was screaming the Earth was flat? No, he knew damn well the Earth was round. He goes, do you think that the Queen of Spain would send her 3 best ships with him? Hello, cat. To fall off the face of the planet? No. Have you ever heard a sailor talk about that? 3 days in, we all go, wee! You ever talk about the big flip? This is so funny.
So asinine, dude. So fucking insane. These mental gymnastics people will do to just be right. I'm like, being right's not that fucking important. Like, you got to learn that it's okay to be wrong sometimes.
It's perfectly fine to be wrong.
We're down to the point on this level where we probably got a bunch of these trims and shit. No, the trims on here are just like every level that has trims of any kind are a pain in the ass because it's like you got to get the over and the underside of them. Mark the window. One of these windows isn't done. I don't think. Is it not? Or no, it's stairs. I'm an idiot. You know what? That's all right. It's okay to be an idiot. Sometimes, for a short while. Don't be an idiot all your life, kids. You're not doing yourself any favors.
No. You have to smart up eventually. And if you don't have a role model, that's really sad. Like, you can only go as far as your role models will allow you to go, in a way, I think. When you're young. Like,
yeah.
It's like for Leo. Like, for instance, he's playing sports. Like, you got to compete, man. Like, you're there to compete. Like, yeah, have fun. You can have fun and compete. You can do both.
Oh, that's another fucking thing we could fucking make people mad about if they ever see this outside of our fucking respective groups.
Yeah.
How do you feel about participation trophies?
I don't like them.
Nope.
Maybe for like 6 and under, sure. Just to get them an idea of what winning a trophy is like. But when it comes to actual competition, I'm not about it. Because you don't learn anything from that. That just teaches you, all I have to do is show up.
Yep.
And I'll win something. But, I mean, I don't hate it. I'm just not for it.
I'm kind of like you. My normal answer to that would be I just fucking hate it outright. Because that's just my answer to fucking 90% of everything, honestly. But, yeah, I mean, I could understand it to a certain extent. Like, I don't know if you had this, and I don't really remember this directly myself. Which fucking window? Oh, it's up there.
The window?
Well, I'm marking random stuff right now, just trying to finish some stuff that looks like it's done, but it's saying it's not. I don't know what on this window isn't done. I'm not saying I remember this from school, but do you remember like some like either pre-K or kindergarten classes? They would have actual classes in like nap time, and it's not a real thing because it's a glorified babysitting service realistically. Well, pre-K is kindergarten, you're supposed to be learning some stuff, at least basic arithmetic and all that. But that's the kind of thing. Like in that situation, I could understand if they were playing like little sports. Then you're like, yeah, participation trophy for everyone. But once you get to the point where you have to start practicing to get good, to be better, to win, participation trophies need to just drop out. Amos, on the left side of that small bit right next to you. Yeah, that one. That you just nope, the little tiny trim above the window frame. That's that vertical one. Yeah, on the left side of it, directly
on
on
the
the
other
left
side.
side. Yeah, if you can get on the windowsill there, I should be able to see it.
I couldn't see that.
Yeah, that's the thing with this game is you got to look at like every angle to find shit.
Have them just get participation trophies.
Yeah. I don't like the sentiment that it brings to.
Now, I completely disagree with people that says it's ruining kids giving them participation trophies. I do not agree with that at all. At the end of the day, you as a parent are the number one learning tool for your kid. That's it. Like, school is a secondary learning tool. For whatever you cannot teach your kid, that's what school's for.
Yeah.
That's
another big thing is like they expect teachers to be like the one and only solution to their kids learning. What do you think being a parent is? Do you think being a parent begins and ends with birthing the kid, and then you just fucking ship them off? Like at first you send them to school, then you send them to a fucking job, and you just drop out. Like
that's what some people think, and some people don't even make it that far.
I couldn't imagine my father doing that. My father's told me multiple times because my father has like a lot of issues, like mental health issues, and he's told me a lot of times that I was like the only thing that had kept him grounded a lot of the time. Like when he was at his worst, like he would remember that he had to be around to make sure I had any help I needed. So I couldn't imagine having a parent like that just like relegated you to being, like a second class citizen in your own family. Like just drop you. That's like rich people that drop their kids off with like nannies and shit and are never there. I'm like, I couldn't imagine it. Drives me bonkers.
Yeah, I don't think people fully understand the complexities of being a parent. Like they think it's quick,
we got 3 wooden trims we need to do, and all that's left is the sole after that. So if you want to go into the menu, go hit the start button, go down to window trims, and click on it, and that'll do the little white highlight for you to let you know. I got one of them, so there's 2 left.
I missed this big one.
Oh, it's probably you got to look right here at the sole, probably, because sometimes you've got to clean like there you go. You got to be careful. Just there's
how do you
one
get the flash white again?
Once you hit start, is the thing still red for you?
Yeah.
Okay, so that should always stay red when you click on it until you finish cleaning everything for that. But once you spray it, it stops flashing because you're looking at it, That's what the game thinks. But yeah, there's one trim somewhere we got to find.
I guarantee it's one that I missed.
Right here. It's this one somewhere, either on top or bottom.
There it goes.
There we go. All right. Just
the whole time.
But you were saying people don't understand the complexities of being a parent.
Yeah, I don't think people could understand the complexities. And that's the thing. Like, you're never truly ready to have a kid. You could be as prepared and have as much money as you want. But people that are just like, oh, I'm not ready to have a kid. You're never ready. And I know that annoys people. But you're never ready. You can get as prepared as you can be. But you're never ready. Because you don't know if your child's going to come out healthy. You don't know if your child's going to come out and have a problem. You don't know if a certain gene on your side of the family or your partner's side of the family is going to come out. It's you're never ready. And these people that just have a kid and they just half-ass it, I don't get it. I just don't get it. Because that kid relies on you. When that kid is, you know, I'll say up to 3 or 4 years old, you're all they know. Like as the parent, you are all they know.
Yep.
Multitasking. So like it's just I just don't get it. I don't get how people half-ass it. And it is stressful. And there are days where you're absolutely burned out that you just want to be like, here, just leave me alone for a few minutes. That's normal. Like that really is. That's normal. You get burned out. But at the same time, there's a difference between being burned out and just flat out giving up. And I just don't get how people give up on it. I just don't. But that's our TED Talk. Let's see here.
What's the next thing before you go into it?
I've got vintage car, skate park, and forest cottage.
We'll do the vehicle.
All right. Where do I go to buy things again? Oh, up here.
We'll get into the thing. Yeah. Okay. So remember what I said. You always want to just buy the washers as much as you can first, because you really don't need any of the other attachments. It'll just save you time down the line. So always prioritize buying the next power washer, which at this point should be. We have the Urban. It's the next one above that, but I can't look at the menu, unfortunately.
All right, let me load us into the. Do me to load us into the vintage car first?
Yeah.
Is there an achievement on that one?
Oh yeah, that's what I was checking. Let's see.
Cat, can you move? Like, sit over here.
Round, carousel, washroom, drill head, helter skelter, private monster, subway, clean. Oh, that's the ancient monument. Fire helicopter station. Tree house.
Alley Cat's here. Go really get. Your butt out of my face.
No, there's nothing here. I will say this is the first one where cleaners would technically start to become helpful because, like, here I'll show you. So if like I just do a quick spray over all this real quick. If you hit it with the hit the right directional pad, you can see how much is still there. Because this is metal, this really is where it starts to teach you about using like cleaners. So metal cleaner would have got that a lot better. But you still don't need that, really. You can get everything just with regular, just power washing equipment. So, like I said, unless you just want to buy that to use it, I mean, you can just save the money and, like I said, just buy the power washers as we go. Oh, that was the thing. Do you want to? How much money do you have?
At 2,000.
All right. Do you want to check the next power washer level? Should be on the third level by now.
Heavy duty?
Maybe. We have the Urbans, the highest one we have right now.
Okay, so the Prime Vista 3000 is $2,000.
Yeah, if you want to go ahead and buy it,
we can buy it. I think there was a clothing thing I needed to get as well. That was for...
Oh yeah, you just can buy any article of clothing.
3 of its attachments.
Wait a minute, is this? Huh.
The Urban U2 and 4 of its attachments. Flipped a new outfit, gloves, and washer modification at the same. Stand on penny farthing for 10 seconds? I don't know.
You'll see that when we get there. I wouldn't worry about it. Okay, so this one is better. I always get confused because it puts it in between the first and second for some reason. Oh, what's this?
I thought there was one where it is that one. Okay. 3 attachments, and then there is a equipped a new outfit, gloves, and washer mod. Okay, there's the outfit. I want to go ahead and buy some of this.
Yeah, I mean, I would just recommend buying the one thing you want more than anything else. I mean, because you won't see the outfit yourself,
No.
and you'll only see the gloves if you have like an extended attachment on. So in the long term, it doesn't really matter. But what were we talking about? Oh yeah, we're talking about like being a parent and all that. I was gonna say something when you were talking. I don't remember what now though.
Ooh, man, they let this car get dirty.
Well, I think the end game thing is like this has been sitting in a garage for a long time. What was
Yeah,
that
I'm
other
pretty sure
thing?
General Patton's missing his Jeep here.
Whoop. Not a Jeep, believe it or not.
Definitely not a Jeep. Yeah, I totally flubbed. Fuck.
Yeah, I can't remember what I was going to say. Oh yeah. So that's what was the thing you said that you said people would be like get upset about? Uh, about you saying like you can never be ready enough or
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
Uh, that's like with me. I have no intentions of ever having kids. Um, Especially the overall reason is I have too many medical and mental health problems, and I don't want to pass that on to the kid. And some people I've seen say like, that's not really a reason. You should be willing to like, um,
No,
it shouldn't matter. You should be willing to take care of them
no.
or whatever. And I'm like, I would absolutely be willing to take care of them, and I would hope that my experience could make their experience with it better if they happen to have the same problem. But on the other hand,
Big butt.
I could also not bring a life into this world that has to deal with that, and might have to deal with worse than I've done. Because I got dealt a pretty good hand. Because I always
Granted.
say I've never been tested for anything, but my father is a diagnosed manic depressive bipolar, uh, and I can definitely tell you that having watched him over the years, like I went from being a child, like idolizing him, to becoming older and realizing he's not the whole world. Um, and he's a human being. He has his own issues. He's not the Superman I thought he was when I was a kid. And it eventually swung to a point where I really did not like my father, and luckily swung back around to I respect him more now as a person, not just as my father and me being his son. Um, but like I said, I've never been tested, but I know I have some attributes that he has, being you know formally diagnosed, or not formally, but not formally as in previously, but formally like he's been tested by somebody.
Mm.
Uh, and I'm like, I got really lucky because I think the fact that I'm so reserved helped me with that. Because one of the things I was terrified as a kid when I realized like I thought things were wrong with me. And when you think things are wrong, if you've got the appropriate, parentage, is you go to them. That's what a lot of parents should aim for, is that your kids want to come to you when they've got problems. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't have parents like that. And it wasn't that I wasn't sure about whether or not uh, they would help me with it. It was just I was terrified that if I went and said, "Hey, I think something's wrong with my head," that I would be thrown into a mental institution. And that was partially, from stuff I'd heard my father say about his experience and stuff I'd seen with I've got other immediate family that have been put into mental institutions,
Hmm.
or not institutions, but they've been had to go to psychiatric help, and it's been bad for them. So I was terrified of that. So I never told anybody. But I think one of the things that helped me was the fact that I was so reserved that it never really came out. Like, it didn't come out in school or anything, or it very rarely did, and people just thought I was, the weird kid. I was one of the misfits, that every school has. So I think I got really lucky with that kind of mentality that it kept me from being, somebody that went off the rails like a lot of my family has. But I'm like, you know, don't want to bring a kid in and them be like my father, where he has to take medicine for his condition, and things got bad to points where he couldn't afford his medicine, had to self medicate, which led to things being even worse. But I also live in terror that my child would have my same issue and wouldn't want to come to me because they're so scared. You know. So
Yeah,
I'm
no,
just
I mean
like,
that's a
oh,
reasonable thing to think about. I mean,
and I'm just like,
because I'll say
I
it,
would rather,
there's people that have kids that should not have kids. Sorry,
yeah. I
not
mean, no, it's absolutely true. I've seen, the people that you talk about, people you've seen. Oh, okay, losing my mind with these attachments I'm using. Um,
I don't know if I have an attachment on properly. Like, is this all
well,
I'm allowed to
I
have?
more meant just the different sprayers I was trying to use. I was flipping back and forth between the red and the yellow, and I'm like, why am I doing this? And I'm like, oh right, I got to use the red one to get like this, like tough rust and dirt off, because we're not using the the liquid washing material right now.
I can get it.
Nah, I mean, if you want to, you can. I'm just saying you don't have to. So if you want to save your money so you can get the best washer as early as possible, you know, that's me optimizing the game where I've already played. That's up to you whether you want to do it like that or if you want to just experience everything you can just grab. Because that's like you could also be buying extensions so you could make this reach longer. So like where we were having trouble, because this is the same house we just did. And you were
I
at this
think
point
so.
where you said you couldn't reach it up here at the top of the roof.
Yeah.
You can get extensions where you could use the like the fan nozzles, but actually reach up there without having to use a ladder. But like I said, I'm trying to help just cut the time down that you're having to deal with a lot of this by just having you. Because what you'll do is once we get to the next washer and enough money, we'll buy it and we'll buy all its attachments. Now you do need to buy all the attachments for achievements for the other ones, but you can just get more money later to do that, or you could redo the game and buy those earlier.
Hmm.
So that's just to try and save time as we're playing more than anything. But what was I saying? Yeah, I'm like, I'd rather just not have the kid. And on top of that, leading back to what you said, where people get upset about saying, "Hey, you can never be ready enough." I really don't think. Like, I know a lot of people say that, and my father said this. He's like, he always wanted kids, but when I was born was really when it kind of hit him about being a father. And you've said so, and I've heard a ton of people say that. Like, once they had the kid, like dads will say when they first held the kid, it really hit them that it was real, I guess,
Yep.
and it changed their experience. And I'm like, I would love to think that that would happen for me, but knowing what I know about myself, because one of the other things I don't talk about this a lot. Um, I don't know if I've ever told you this. I have one of the reasons I don't like people a lot is because I have an intense disattachment from our species. Like I really don't give a damn. I really don't. I don't know where it comes from. Maybe it's a mental illness thing. I don't know. I've never cared to look into it because I care about people. I care about like you. I mean, still remember this to this day. You telling me that Vanessa was really happy about, and I don't know if you remember this day when y'all first told me y'all were going to have Leo. When y'all first found out Vanessa was pregnant,
Yeah.
and we were actually going to do the podcast that day, and I'd just shown up and put my stuff on your couch, and you told me that, and you actually told me, and I turned around and I was setting my stuff down, didn't say anything, And when I turned back, I was smiling ear to ear about it,
Yeah.
and hugged you and hugged Vanessa. And I remember her saying she was really happy about how that interaction went. Um, versus something else. I don't remember what the other half was. But I'm like, I care, it's like an extreme version of I care about me and mine.
Mm-hmm.
So I care about my family and my friends, and I realistically I care about. I don't like to hear about suffering of other people, but in my day to day life, I'm not bothered by it. I don't want any. I want everybody to, if they could, to live. That's like the thing we talked about last time we played about, like, like we live in a society where basic income should be easy for everyone. Nobody should have to be homeless or not have money. We have more than enough resources. I think that would be great. What do we got left? Let's see.
I guarantee I'm missing something small.
Well, like I said, this is the level that's supposed to teach you about using like the washing fluid. And since we're not doing that, like a lot of this stuff can get like escape you pretty easily. So that headlight, one of the tires is still. Um, but yeah, I just have an intense disattachment from our realistically our species. I don't really give a fuck. I'm literally one step away from being a what is it?
Pigeon Man from
A
Hey Arnold.
miss yeah. Misanthropo, which I don't know if you know, like, have you heard that term before?
What's that now? I'm sorry.
I think I'm saying it right, a misanthropo. It's a weird sounding word.
I don't think so.
It's literally a word to describe someone that hates humans.
Okay.
And I think it comes from like a semi-religious movement of some kind, maybe. One of these other tires, which one it is, has something somewhere. Got the thing marked, but I don't see any of them flashing.
Is it one of those side tires here?
Could be, but they're not flashing for some reason. If they are,
I don't have to get the inside of the tire, do we?
maybe we'll move on to another thing. We'll come back.
I haven't gotten that little list yet, so I don't know exactly what's missing.
Remember, you can hit pause and you can mark stuff that's still not finished, so it'll glow with the white, that white glow. That's what I'm doing. Try and get to these last few.
Tires. Tyres. Wing mirrors.
Wing mirrors are good.
Those were
None of
missing two on the wing.
What the fuck is happening here? Oh, there we go.
Getting everything. Bumper cleaned.
Yep.
That me or you?
Me. It was me. Because I'm the best.
Round,
Probably
round,
also
keep me down.
Probably also helps that I've played a fucking ton of this game too. There we go. Oh, the door handles, yeah. It's always a thing. They are extra hard to get clean. One. The other one's on your side.
There we go.
There you go.
The
The horn. Horny toads.
horny toads.
It's
Or
this
the
left
horn.
one.
Oh, these things. Okay.
It's this left one somewhere. I do. Sending on your call. What you gonna do about it? Nathan.
Nathan?
Nathan.
Okay, there we go. It seems like it just wants us to clean it until it's like, alright, that's good enough.
Which tire? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no, wait, this isn't the one. Oh, it's this one. The fuck? Where? see anything for you. Fuck you mean? Oh, there it is. It's like on the upper
Oh,
quadrant
I
of
couldn't
that
even see it.
tire. In the back. Yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I was damning humanity. Uh, yeah, I'm one step off of just literally hating our species, to be honest. 'Cause I'm one of those people. I feel like it's a double-edged sword. Because like, if humans weren't here, then nothing would really matter, right? I mean, it would just be animals not thinking. Like animals can have thoughts, but you know, we're the advanced species, of the planet. Without us here, nothing's getting really created. It's just nature, which is fine. But I'm also like, we're making the planet suffer. So by that logic, it would be better if we weren't here. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I'm like, and it's not like a huge thing. I don't think about this like I used to think about it like a lot when I was younger. But now I've kind of got past it, and I'm like, yeah, it's worth us like trying. It's like as long as we're trying to be better as a species, which I think we are in the grandest schemes. But yeah, I'm just like, I don't know. What do we got going on now?
I just chose one. There's
Oh,
one
let's
in. I know there's one in this level.
yeah, it's the. You gotta go up here. See this thing right here?
Yeah.
See that ball? Push that ball out of this bit.
Oh, not another ball.
Yeah. This one's a little bit easier because you just got to get it out. It's just a pain in the ass. At least this time you don't have to be precise. You just have to get it out. While you're doing that, I'm going to work on cleaning up all this shit.
Oh, if I could turn faster. Ugh.
Where's the ladder? There it is. Here it goes. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I just don't trust that I would have that moment of clarity if I did have a kid. Which on top of that, I don't fucking have a
Oh, so
significant
close.
other either. I'm like, I'm not having a kid unless it's somebody I know I'm staying with for the rest of my life.
Dickhead, get out.
Because I know I'm just like a lazy piece of shit, and I'm like, I would hope having a fucking human being that I've got to be responsible for would trump me being a lazy piece of shit.
Oh,
But
so
I don't
close.
know, and I'd rather not take that risk. I'd rather not put a fucking human being in that position.
I think being a parent kind of forces you to be in that position. I really do. Like,
So you say that, but you underestimate. Like I said, I'm very close to not giving a shit about anyone, and I would hope that having a child would fall into that. Oh, this is my family. I have to take care of them, but I just don't know. I would love to be able to say yes. I would love to be able to be that person, but if I'm going to be an honest human being, I don't know, and I refuse to take that chance. You know, I'd rather just admit that maybe that wouldn't happen and just not take the risk, to be honest. 'Cause I like to think I'm a decent human being, you know.
I don't
And
think you
I
give
always want
yourself
to
enough credit.
see this. Because that's like you said with Jeremy always telling you, talking to me and saying like nice things. Like I think that my objective, like with our job, since we work with other people like in the stores, so they have their own shit going on. Like we're not the end all be all for what's going on, but at the same time we have to do our job without letting them, you know, overpressure us about things. I'm just like I try to make things as easy for everybody as physically possible. Like for all my receivers, I try to make things as easy as possible. For the people that work on the aisles when I'm working, I try to make sure I'm not in their way or if I am in their way, as little as possible, or I move as much as I can for them. Stuff like that. And I hope they do the same. I mean, it's I mean, they're not required to. That's not their job. But I never know. Like I said, I just never know, and I'd rather be completely honest with myself than to be like, oh yeah, maybe, yeah, maybe. Like maybe's good enough. That's what me. Maybe is not good enough in that situation, for me at least. And that's like you said. Some people are parents that shouldn't be. They're the kind of people that are like, they think, C+ is good enough. Oh well, C+ might be good enough to get you through, high school and get you a diploma, but there's some shit you should not apply a C+ attitude to, and taking care of a fucking human being is one of those things. Goddamn. This tonight's the night I get mad about everything.
That wasn't my intent.
It's fucking. I stay mad all the time. I'm like Mark Ruffalo in the Avengers. That's my secret. I'm just fucking always pissed off.
You get this
Yeah,
ball out.
I mean, it's a pain in the ass. I mean, if you want, you can wait till we get the last power washer and then try it then.
I'm gonna get mad. I'm gonna get mad. Keep trying that.
Oh, damn.
Stupid thing.
He's trying to lock it. The fuck do I still have my fucking sandals? I always do that. I'll put my fucking sandals on to go outside and like grab something out of the car, come back in, and I'll realize like fucking an hour later that I still have them on for some reason.
Sandals?
Yeah, man.
Oh.
Flip flops.
Flippy floppies. My flippy floppies.
Oh.
Yeah, that's don't rush to be a parent. Like easy as a young person to be like, "Oh, I don't have anybody. I don't think I'm good enough to date." Listen, there's people in their 50s that's finding their soul. You got time.
Yeah.
You've got time. And that's another thing I wish people would stop doing. I hate, and I didn't even think this was a problem. I'll be honest. I didn't think this was a thing until I actually became a parent. But it's these people that, I don't want to say shame. That's probably too strong of a word. But they kind of just talk down to people that are like, oh, you're married. You don't have kids yet?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, can we stop doing that, please? That's so much unnecessary pressure on a couple.
Yeah, just people thinking, oh, I hate the people who hear about like a woman saying she doesn't want to have kids, and then they're like, "Oh, that's just a phase" or some shit like that. I'm just like, shut the fuck up. Like, shut the fuck up. Maybe some people just don't want to have kids, and there's like this. I don't know if it's a growing thing or if it's always been a thing, and I've just now started to notice it. But it's people like getting upset that people aren't having children, like how that's. They say shit like it's disrespectful to your ancestors. Like, what's the thing they say? It's like your bloodline has existed for billions of years or whatever, however long, and it gets ended with you because you just don't want to have a kid. And I'm like, I mean, yeah. On one hand,
it's hard to raise a kid now. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. On one hand, I'm like, I kind of see where you're coming from. Because one of the only reasons I would that's ever made me want to have a child is if I don't have a kid, my grandfather, his bloodline ends. Because I'm his only biological male, or I'm his only biological grandchild at all, period. So if I don't have a kid, then his bloodline ends with me. Like, full stop. He's got got other grandkids. They're just, it's like I've got like mom's got half siblings and stuff like that. That whole shenanigans kind of thing. So that's the one thing I'm like, well, I really don't want that, but it's still not strong enough for me to be like, oh yeah, I'm just going to go have a kid because of that. Nope, that's not good enough. That still falls into the maybe category of doing things. And like I said,
you mean make you feel better? Let me make you feel better. You know what I unintentionally did when we had Leo?
Mm-hmm.
I ended 5 generations of a middle name.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah, and I didn't know. I had no idea. That's the thing. I had no idea there was a generation thing. We've had 5 generations where the male side of my family has had the middle name Franklin.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know. So, like, when we named Leo, we gave Leo his name, my mom was just like, oh, you're not going to name him Franklin in the middle? I said, no, why would I? And she's like, well, that name's been passed down for 5 generations. I'm like, well, too late to change it now. You had 9 months to tell me that. You know?
Mm-hmm. And see, that's another thing. Is like, I feel like stuff like that does not get talked about. Like, I don't really know anything about the most I ever learned about like my uh, family lineage is I had a project in school that was like make a like a graph or like a something to do with like tracing your family line. Like, do your parents, obviously your grandparents, your great grandparents, go back as far as you can. It wasn't like a limit. And I was trying to talk to my mom and dad, and they didn't really know anything. They're like, "You should talk to your grandparents." And I talked to uh, my mom's parents, and they know a little bit, but not a lot. And then I talked to my dad's dad, and the best he could give me is he actually did like some like heritage like thing, like whatever those sites are,
Mm.
or maybe just traced that. This might have been before those sites existed. But just did like some tracing, and the best thing he could give me was that our family roots go back to Poland. So to some extent, apparently, I'm Polish. That's as much as I really know. But I feel like shit like that just really doesn't get talked about much, or maybe maybe me and you just don't have families like that. But I feel like maybe it's just a thing that's kind of died out in the modern age. For better or for worse, I don't really know. I mean, that goes back to the family line, like your bloodline going back generations. I'm like, I see where you're coming from, but do I really want to be peer pressured by people that are fucking a billion years dead? I don't think so. I think I
Well, that
really
and there
give a
was
damn.
nothing really. The best that I know, there wasn't anything great about my family.
Mm.
Like, I actually did a 23andMe thing. Or Ancestry, sorry.
Yeah.
And I did find out something shocking about myself. Um,
Mm.
I want to say 70% of people that are in my demographic, like white, you're going to see European as your
Mm.
main ancestry.
Yeah.
Maybe 70 is too high. I don't know. I just kind of tossed a number in there.
Yeah, that's fine.
But that wasn't my case. My
Mm.
major ancestry percentage was Scottish. It was
Oh,
like
yeah.
68% Scottish. And I'm like, I'm more Scottish than European. That kind of blows my mind. I guess that's why I felt cute in a dress. I don't know. But but that kind of surprised me a little bit. I was just like, Scottish? I never would have guessed that.
Now, see, here's an interesting thought about that. Finding out that a lot of your blood comes from Scottish bloodlines.
It's really funny because my dad hates
Yours,
immigrants. Sorry. What?
oh Lord, and we're all immigrants. You get over it. You have a very quick, a very short fuse. Like you can be quick. Not in all situations. I think for the most part, you're like an even killed person. But especially like when we're playing games, sometimes I've seen you go from just having a good time, we're just hanging out, to being like absolutely fuse blown,
Yep.
man. And I think that's a thing that not just Scottish, but like that whole, I don't know what the area would be like, Scottish, Irish, all that whole group. I think they're known for that, so that kind of tracks with you being part Scottish or having blood from Scotland. I wonder if it's that kind of thing. Like, how deep does stuff like that go in blood and DNA? Like,
May
could that
also explain
explain?
my red beard.
Yeah, like I just you saying that, I thought about that instantly as soon as you said that. I'm like, man, aren't
Yeah, your temper kind
Scottish?
of sucks.
Sometimes, like I said, 99% of the time you're fine. It's just 1% shit'll get what. It's like you're kind of like me, which my shit's like a mental thing. Like once you hit that point,
Yeah.
you're off to the races about it. Once we're mad about something, we're going to like this is a great example. This whole stream, like when we're mad about something, we're going to go off about it the whole fucking time, as long as somebody will let us. So,
yeah, and if you like that, like the video, subscribe to the channel, go follow Raven on Twitch. Anyway, shameless plug.
I promise you, I'm not this mad all the time.
No,
Just most of the
he's
time.
very intellectual about games.
Yeah, man. I know
I'm
everything
just like
about everything.
I'm just like baseball go boom when you hit it.
Yeah, man.
That's about it. Or in my case, I swing and miss, but baseball mostly go.
You know what would be your greatest enemy? If somebody made a baseball XCOM hybrid game. That way you could also try and play baseball while having the XCOM miss shit.
Oh my god, no.
Man, I'm fucking commissioning fucking game dev to make that shit right now.
Man, I already get swing and misses on good timing. Like that game doesn't make sense sometimes. I'm like, well, I guess it wasn't a good swing then if I missed. I mean, I just don't get it. Like I have a 99 percentile to make contact, and I still missed.
Oh god, you would rage so fucking hard in a game like that if somebody could figure that out. God damn.
I will never forget that. I will always like how people joke about having their memory hall of fame in gaming. Yeah, 99% chance with a shotgun. Miss. All right, well, you're useless to me now. You're just
you're fucking dead to me.
Yeah, you're dead to me.
You might not die by enemy hands. You might die by my
You're
hands.
about to be dead to me because you can't hit something. Yep, I will never forget that. I'll hate it so much, but I love it because it's just like
you're gonna have that carved in your fucking tombstone as an epitaph.
I want that on my tombstone. It's like had a chance to live, rolled a 1.
Goddamn, missed the save and throw.
Not only did I miss the save and throw, I hit the one explosive barrel, and
be like that time you got that triple kill that included 2 fucking teammates.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Yeah,
you should give me more space.
Could have gave me more space when I shot a rocket into this confined box.
Yeah, more space. In my defense, I said rocket incoming.
Oh yeah,
like literally half a second before I shot it.
Yeah, we heard that right as the rocket exploded under our feet.
Rocket incoming.
Oh, God damn, it was so good that day. I think we got shit on that whole day we were playing. We played like fucking 15 games and got lost every time. But I still remember that fucking moment. So fucking good.
It was like a desperation thing. Look, we're better than this. Look, we can only kill 2 of our teammates at once instead of 3.
They can't kill us if Amos kills us.
It's like, do that little meme of the thinking, the guy doing the thinking thing, pointing his head. Can't kill us if our teammate does it first.
Yeah, damn. Oh, Lord.
What's been your funniest gaming moment? Then maybe I don't know. I've seen you play a lot of games.
Yeah. So we're being mad about various shit this time. Here's something that I'm a little mad about myself. I don't, because reality is subjective, right? Like everybody experiences life in their own way. The easiest way to explain that is like you never know what colors look like to another person.
Yeah, you're colorblind a little bit, right?
I'm colorblind, so if you didn't know that, and we were both looking at like take this skate park for example, I might look at these middle stripes. They look orange to me. Do they look orange to you?
Wait, which ones?
The orange stripes on the wall.
Like 50 years to turn around. Like what?
Like right here, this little wavy line.
That one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks orange to me.
Okay, see, that's the example. What about the half pipe here? Is it red to you?
Yeah.
All right, and these walls, would you say they're like what? Like
teal?
not really
cyan?
Teal, yeah. and then you got like these are what I'd say.
Dark blue, like an ocean blue, kind of, I guess.
Yeah, see, so those two colors right there above the orange and this wall right here, I would have absolutely no idea how to tell you what color these are. Absolutely no idea. I was gonna say this was like some kind of off white. This big wall right here,
Mm-hmm.
I'm next to. I was gonna be like, is that like an off white ish color? Which also this is in the shade, which doesn't help the process either.
Yeah, it could be. I mean,
Um, but yeah, one of the things I always wonder about myself versus other people is do I have memories like other people do? Because I couldn't like I don't. If you think of a memory, like any kind of memory, whether it's good, bad, happy, sad,
mm.
can you remember the moment itself? Like, can you envision a moment, like say a birthday party you really enjoyed? Could you look back and like remember details about it?
I guess it depends on how specific you want me to get. Like, if I could tell you what shoes somebody was, we'll take the birthday party example. If you're asking about like what shoes somebody was wearing, probably not.
No, just the event in and of itself. Can you visualize that kind of moment? Like, could you imagine, like, oh yeah, uh, my buddy, my best friend was there. You know, I had some cousins, stuff like that. Could you?
There's a few I kind of remember that way. I couldn't tell you where the like. I couldn't tell you the street or the house, but I could tell you who was there and how someone almost died. But that's about it.
See, my thing is when I think of memories, it's more of a logic thing than I feel like a feeling or a memory. Like I could just list off details, but I don't. It's the feeling part of it. I don't remember the feelings really past the moment. Like I can remember having fun times, like going to JL's. You know, the times there, things that happened, times we've gamed, like the whole the rocket launcher incident and shit like that. You know, when we were streaming Gears and I did, you had that scream and all that. Like I can remember the moments, but the feeling of it really doesn't hit me again. And I don't know if that's a normal human thing or if that's something unique.
I think everybody remembers something. Like, I,
Well,
I would
I think I
argue.
misspoke. I misspoke. It's the feeling. Like I don't. I remember the feeling as a idea, not as the actual like. I don't know. I don't know how to. This is one of those things. It's like super common. Like you probably need a therapist to have the knowledge to explain it. But I often worry. My main point is, I worry that I don't have the experience other people have with their memories. But then I'm also like, I don't know how you're supposed to experience, like, have how your memories are supposed to, like, should you remember instantly, like, and have like that feeling back, or is it just, oh yeah, you just look back and you have like you're nostalgic about it? I don't know. Like I
Tough,
said, I might
right?
not have the words for this.
Memory is a tricky thing. Can't always rely on it. What you mean? Like how you can't rely on what you think you remember?
Not necessarily that, like, so I'll give you an example. When I think about that rocket launcher thing, about you getting the triple kill with two teammates, I
Yeah,
remember the moment. See, you just laughed,
I did.
and sometimes I'll laugh, but I think most of the time I just remember the memory, but I have a hard time remembering the feelings at the time. Like
I
I'm sure I laughed. I'm sure we died
oh
laughing when it
yeah.
happened, but I don't really have that experience when I think back to it. That's what I'm saying. I guess it's do memory or memory supposed to have emotions connected to them directly?
I think so,
When
but
you
I also think that memories also fade. So, you know, like if you tell a joke to someone that's really funny, and the first time they hear it, they laugh really hard, but then they hear it three, four, 5 times, and they're just like, "Huh," you know. I think it's kind of similar to that, you know.
could
Like,
be,
like if you reminded me about that every single day, I would probably get to a point where I wouldn't laugh. I'd just be like, "Oh yeah, no, that happened," you know. But if you tell it to me once every 6 months or so, I'd probably be like, that is funny. I do remember that.
Yeah, and this is also, I feel like this might also be a thing where trying to explain it doesn't justify, because it's giving a different, I don't know. I don't know what the phrase would be. Like external, like I'm asking you your opinion on this, but I don't know if I'm explaining what I'm asking correctly. So I might be losing something in translation. I don't know. I've always wondered. I don't have
Are
like,
you wondering
especially
if
with
people
like
experience the same thing?
maybe, I don't know. It might be one of those things like it's too above my head. Like maybe I'm overthinking it, or maybe I'm just uh, it's probably something I'm overthinking, but I don't know. I've always thought that like when you're supposed to have memories of something, say something enjoyable, like the times I've been at JL's when we've gamed, that you should feel the same. Like if it's something funny, you should feel that same emotion at the time. And sometimes I have that, and sometimes I don't. Sometimes it's just a logic thing. It's just, oh yeah, I remember this moment in time. Other times it's, yes, I remember the feeling, and then I'm just like, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
Again, this is probably like either overthinking or I don't have the words to express what I'm trying to ask. This is a question I've posed to myself for years. But like I said, this is probably a question you would talk to a therapist about, and I'm like, I don't go to fucking therapists.
I know Frog's trying to figure out my chat too. He said, let's see. He said emotional memory. I'd say it's normal to have feelings come back, like if you think of a certain memory, feeling happy or sad about them. We kind of in the ballpark there.
I think so, because now I'm like second guessing myself. Because like I said, sometimes when I think of something like a joke or something, like I'll tell you, there's two videos I have. I don't know where I've got them saved, but it's of these people dressed up in just like costumes, like either mascot costume, something like that. And it's one of them is just, it's like this line. It must be like it's in a mall of some kind. And it's just like I guess it's some event, and all these people are dressed up in like gorilla costumes, and most of them are just walking, right? Most of them are just walking. Maybe they're going to a place to do some performance, whatever. But one of them, one dude is he is vibing out to the music playing. There's like a techno beat playing over the speakers. And as he's walking, he's not just walking normal, like he's like bopping left and right. But his costume, costumes like that, the upper body doesn't really attach to anything but the arms, so it can sway, And when he starts like really because he's doing it a little bit, but then as it gets closer, the camera gets closer to him, he really starts and the costume's like bending at a 45-degree angle to his like hips. So it's like instead of imagine a gorilla costume just straight up, at the waist it's bending all the way like as if you were broke at the hips. And he's just doing this dance back and forth, and it kills me every fucking time I see this video. And the other one is, I think it's at the same event, but it's like a guy in that same gorilla costume, and there's a guy in a bear costume, and they're doing like a skit where they're trying to break a piece of wood with a hammer, but the bear hits the guy in the gorilla costume in the face, and the guy goes to chase him. And that bear takes off running, but the costume does that same shit where it's just wobbling. It just looks so funny. And when I think of those two videos, I have, like right now, I'm smiling, laughing about it. But then I think about other memories, like, of shit happening, and I can't remember the moments, and I don't remember the feelings in them. And I'm just like, maybe that's a normal experience. Maybe some shit you remember more.
Yeah,
that's
I'd say that's normal. I'd say that's normal.
Yeah.
Like, maybe to you, it's, I don't know, maybe this is above my head, but maybe that video is releasing more dopamine than maybe a memory that you're trying to think of.
And it could be like you say, like maybe it's a time thing, like because that video is pretty recent, like within like the last like 3 months, I think I found them, and I look back to them occasionally. But some of the memories I try to think of, it's usually the memories that I'm worried about are like event things, like going to JLs or when we've gone to like when we were doing the podcast. Like I think that was one of the times that it tripped this idea in my head. I'm like, I vaguely remember when we did this. Like I remember being there in the moment,
Mm.
but I don't have any memory really past that. And
Let
not
me.
just like,
Oh,
well,
sorry. Go ahead.
go ahead.
No, well, mine's gonna be a
Go.
little different. So
No, yours fine. Go ahead. I wasn't really going to say anything.
I was gonna say, let me try to trigger a memory, and I want you to tell me how you feel about it. And I don't think nobody's gonna know about this except you and me. Do you remember the Iron Gaming tournament
Yes.
and how we just got completely blasted on
Yeah.
stage?
The thing I always remember about that is you were talking, I guess maybe separate from me. Maybe I went to do something or I was talking to Reed or something. But you said you had talked to the guys and they said they had been what? They had been training for like 6 months or some
Yeah,
shit for the tournament.
yeah.
I'm like, well, fuck, we trained for what, a day?
We trained. Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, maybe it's one of those things where that's one of the few things you need external stuff. Like you bringing it up to me made me maybe fully remember it, or maybe that brought up the laugh. Maybe when you're just trying to think of stuff, you don't get that because it's more like you're just pulling the memory out of your head and not the moment that you were there. I don't know. This is I don't know. Like I said, it's just one of those things. Like I said earlier, where I have such a disconnect. I feel like from people that aren't, immediately, in my head. Yes, I care about these people, like family, like you or Brian or JL and Phoenix and Austin. I'm just like, I always worry about whether my experiences in life are, I don't know, like genuine, I guess.
Mm.
Like I'm experiencing stuff like other human beings do.
I think you are. I just think that the way you interpret them could be different, and that's normal. You know. Let's see. Frog says, gotta lead off.
It's probably just overthinking is all I'm doing. I do that a lot.
I'd not be worried about not always having emotional memory, though. I'd say not all memories have emotions tied to them. You gotta remember there's no such thing as feeling neutral. That's an interesting statement. I'd almost say emotions and details are corresponding opposites. Take that whatever you will on that one.
What was that last line he said?
He said, I'd almost say emotion and detail. My emote's kind of cutting off part of that word. I'm going to assume that's detail. Details are corresponding opposites with memories. So, like, the way you remember something could be the exact opposite of how you emotionally feel about
it. Could be.
I couldn't tell you. Like, I was talking to somebody last week. Might have been Sean. And I told him the story of, do you remember a long time ago when me and Vanessa, I believe we were dating still at this point. And there was that night I freaked out because I couldn't get a hold of her. And you offered to go look for her. Do you remember that?
I think so. I have a vague, like, tickling in the back of my head about this. But something else is getting in the way of me remembering this, because I can't remember what I was doing at the time, and that's usually where I base what a lot of my memories on is like, was I at work? Was I at home? What was I doing?
I think it was really late at night, so I'm going to assume you were at home?
Probably at home, yeah. Yeah, because that's the one thing I am remembering is you asking me to do something late at night, or maybe you didn't ask me to, but like it was late at night and you had called me or messaged me about something.
Yeah, I vaguely, that's a good example. Like, I remember bits and pieces of that, but I don't remember details.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said,
I'll always be grateful for that.
oh, absolutely. That ties to something else I remember. Um, JL very rarely ever called me late at night because she knew I didn't like being out past a certain point. Like if I get home by like noon, I don't want to get out unless I've already got plans to come out to do something. And we didn't have plans that night, and she called me and asked me to come out because she had just like had a rough day or something like that. So I just went over there and hung out with her for a while to help her calm down from whatever. So I'm like, that's another time when something like that happened. I'm like, I'm always willing to help, but I always that's another thing about me is like, I really just don't like having my day interfered with, like at all. Like if I'm working, I want to work and I want to go home unless I've already
Do like
distinctly
routine.
made plans. Yeah, but I also have to weigh that against like visiting my dad or more specifically my grandparents because my granddad for the last it's been maybe a decade now. He's on dialysis. He's lost like kidney function, and I know he's not going to be around much longer. And what we used to do is we used to go eat with him like every other week, and I would pay and take. We'd just go out to eat somewhere nice. But now with like where they cut hours and stuff, I'm like I can't do that. And I told him during December, this is like before Christmas, I called him like, hey, they cut my hours. I don't know what my paychecks are going to look like. So for the rest of December, just plan on us not eating till I can get a grip on what my paychecks are going to look like. And they said, that was fine. They always say, we don't have to go out or anything. But I feel bad about it because we haven't visited them in January at all either. Um, and I'm like, I don't ever care to help anybody at any time, but I'm also like, I worry that I'm being selfish because I'm like, I don't want, because so, like, they also tell us we can come up and just, sit with them, which we've done from time to time, but I'm like, I don't like doing that. I like visiting them, but I don't like not doing something. Like, if I'm going to be sitting just doing nothing, I would rather be at home, like, where I could work on, like, a game or something or watch something. Because that's what we do. We go up there and we just sit, right?
Mm.
And I'm just like, but is it selfish because I don't want to do it? Because that's what me and Mom have basically planned now is instead of going up every other week, we'll try to go up like once a month and just sit with them because I really can't afford to be taking everybody out now because of the hours cut.
I think
So I
it's
always
different with
want,
family. Like depending on what the situation is. I think it's different when it comes to that. Knowing that he doesn't have possibly not a lot of time left. It doesn't feel like a waste to go up there and just sit and talk.
well, no, that wasn't the thing. The thing was, there's still times where I'm like, you know, we should go up and visit them, and I'm just like, sometimes I'm just like, I want to go home. Like after work, especially, I'm just like, I just want to go home. And everybody's got stuff going on, and I try to tell myself, they understand, but I'm also like, am I being selfish in that moment of like, um, I want to go home. I want to relax, and that's like even more now because I'm trying to stream every day. I don't know if I told you this, Amos. I'm trying to stream every day this year.
Yep, you mentioned that before.
So I'm trying. It's not a super big thing. I'm like, I haven't run into something that's going to like stop it yet, but at the same time, I'm just like, I'm going to try to do that just because, just want to try it, and I also hope that like streaming becomes a habit so I can do it more consistently. Because that's the problem I was having last year was I would get off work and I was so fucking tired. I'm like, I'm just going to lay down,
Yep.
and then I would wake up from the nap and I might have time to stream, but I'm like, I just don't want to. I want to, just play a game for myself. I don't want to be on and like having to keep track of anything. So I'm like, maybe if I try and just stream every day, I can make it a habit, get more used to it. So even when I'm tired, I can figure stuff out. That's like, I don't think it was this. No, we played Tuesday. I think it was last Tuesday. You ended up telling me pretty late that
Yeah.
something had happened. I think you had to take care of Leo because Vanessa was sick.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, all right, that's fine. So we didn't game. And then I realized, well, shit, I didn't stream when I got home. Because sometimes I'll do like a short, like hour or two stream, even on the days we do game night.
Mm. What is
Um,
game night?
so it's like, I gotta play, I gotta stream something if I'm gonna keep it up. So I just like scrambled and I'm just like, I'm just
Here's
gonna play
me rubbing
Tetris.
my toes.
Yeah, it's like, I'm just gonna play Tetris. That's just easy. And I did that. And I was super tired, even though, because I think I had woke up pretty early. And since we weren't gaming, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna watch Ray. And then I realized, like, part way, I think when he was ending, I'm like, oh shit, I didn't stream today. So I'm like, I had to scramble and put something together. So I did that. Um, so that's another layer to the, because that's what I thought. That's what brought this up in my head recently. Was like, well, I want to stream every day, but if I go to work and come home, that's I go in about 3, get off work about say 9 or 10 generally, come home, and we decide to go up there. Where I'm going to go up there, get up there about, you know, say 11, between 11 and 12. We stay up there for a couple hours. By the time I get home, it's already 3 or 4 o'clock. Then I'm like, well, now what do I do about streaming? Like, do I go ahead and do it? Am I going to be too tired to? Then I wonder if that is that selfish too, because I'm wanting to do this thing because I like doing this, and I finally got to a point where I can stream consistently. But also, should I be prioritizing, you know, my family more? So I don't know. I'm asking a lot of heavy fucking questions tonight. Tonight's the night to ask existential questions and be pissed off, apparently.
Our TED Talk. It's our
Apparently.
power washing TED Talk stream.
That's
Jokes
the
on
thing about
everyone.
this.
The game, it's the background. We're actually here to talk about life.
See, I was streaming this game for a little bit when I was working on the achievements, and I'm like, I can't stream this game because I gotta like constantly be talking because there's like no audio, there's no music, there's very little like background noise aside from the washer, and I'm like, I
That's-
can't sustain this game by myself.
That's what
There's
someone
no way.
told me last week. I can't remember who told it to me, but he said, he goes, man, Power Wash Simulator is quite a thing. There's nothing going on in that game. I'm glad that you know how to talk to Dakota, or that game would be, or like that stream would be very boring to watch. No offense. And I was like, no,
Oh,
I
yeah.
get it. It's really hard to make water pressure look fun.
Yeah, this is definitely a stream and talk about game, but like I said, I was streaming this for a little bit by myself because I was working on the achievements, and one of the things I kind of wanted my channel to be, when I started it originally, and I haven't really continued this, was I wasn't going to have, like, Ray has his whole thing where he is a variety streamer. He streams 5 days a week. People knew him when he started streaming.
Yep.
There's other people that their whole thing is they stream like one game. Like, there's people that just stream League and all that. I kind of wanted an idea for my channel to be that it was literally going to be me streaming what I was doing. Like, it was going to be literally like somebody just joining me for whatever I was gaming on that day. And I haven't really done that because it's kind of hard to do that and potentially build an audience. Now I'm not trying to make it into a thing. If it becomes something, cool.
Yeah. That's how I am.
But yeah. But I'm like, I can't. That doesn't really translate well because then I'm going to be playing probably a different game like every day, or there'll be times like where RoboQuest took over my life for like a few weeks. So I'll be playing nothing but that game. Sometimes it works out, but I don't think you can start off that way. Like, you got to get some kind of base before you could do anything like that, or people are just going to see you. And also having a schedule. I wasn't going to have a schedule because I was just going to play whatever I was playing for the day. But then I'm like, that was the biggest thing people told me. Like, when I talked to, when I looked up some info, and when I talked to Glass has been a huge help for all the shit I've been doing. One of her number one tips for everybody is to have a schedule. That way people can see when you're going live and what you're doing. And that was kind of counterintuitive to what I was going to do. But I'm like, maybe I should just start with that. And then, if it goes somewhere and I get people, maybe later I could swap it out to actually just be me gaming whatever I'm doing. Which I haven't hated having the schedule. It's actually kind of helped me be more consistent with streaming. Because then I can just tell myself, if I'm tired from work, I'm like, well, I already put the fucking schedule up, and if at least one person saw it, which I know 90% of the time, the one person that saw it is you.
Yeah, boy.
And also Marv. I think, or no, Marv doesn't see the schedule. Guy I follow on Twitter, he like sees my going live and he like retweets them all the time. Like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's so hard. That's one of the. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why my channel is kind of going downhill, and that's a big of it. It's just the. It's been hard for me to keep a schedule. Like, I used to go live every other night, pretty much at 8 o'clock or 8:30, but now it's a little harder to do that, and because I wake up at 4 o'clock, I can't fit in a baseball game starting at 9 because it takes roughly an hour and a half, and that's not counting if I go into the freaking extras that everyone seems to love but me. So, I mean, so it's that's definitely been a challenge, and because there's nights where Vanessa don't feel good, and I feel bad going live when she just doesn't feel. So,
Yeah.
I'm just like, well, it can wait, you know. But I keep telling myself I'm going to make a schedule and I'm going to stick to it, but it's just so hard. I don't purposely break my schedule. It's just really hard to.
Well, and see, that's another thing with me is like I've made the schedule, but there's been a couple of times where I'm like, you know what? I really want to play. Like this week, I tried out 2 new games that came to Game Pass. One was Turnip Boy Robs the Bank, which I was playing a little bit of before we started, and then that Pal World game. And for the Turnip Boy game, I didn't play the first one. That's actually the second game in that series. But I watched Ray play, and the first one just looked. It's just a silly little game. You play as like a little turnip dude, and the first game is Turnip Boy commits tax evasion. Yeah, and one of the things like is him constantly just because the character never says anything. His expressions are always in a text box. Is just an ellipsis of like 3 periods, 3 question marks, or 3 exclamation points. That's it. So he just expresses like excitement, questioning, or just being neutral with those. That's all he does. But his whole thing in that game is he's essentially just railing against the government. So one of the little quests you do is you're supposed to like get somebody's take a like a rent contract or something to him to get him to pay it, and he just ends up tearing the thing in half because he's like, no, fuck that, we're not paying this. So it's just a silly little game. And then I saw the second one. I'm like, I'm just going to try it out. I'm just going to put it on the schedule, try it out, because I'm wanting to make sure I don't burn myself out on RoboQuest like every week because I had it on the schedule like 3 days a week, twice. It was a good time. Then I played Pal World. Oh, that was what I was saying. Is like I just really wanted to play that, so I went live early, and I'm like, I wonder if that's a thing that's good to do. Like, I still went live around the time. I just went live an hour early because I wanted to play the game so much.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's probably a question I should ask Glasses at some point. Like, see what her opinion is about that. But then there's like Pal World. I didn't expect a lot out of that game, but that game was a lot of fun for the little bit I played it. I restarted that game 3 fucking times. I liked it so much.
Power World?
Yeah, I don't. Pal World.
Oh, Pal World. Oh, okay. The Pokemon shooting
With
game.
guns game. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And it's Pokemon with guns, all right. I haven't got to the guns part, but let me tell you.
I want a Machamp.
Legally distinct Machamp of some kind is what you'll find in there. Just like there's a fucking legally distinct Wooloo in the first area, and a legally distinct Meowth. There's just a chicken. One of the fucking animals is just a chicken. Literally, just a fucking chicken. No accessories, nothing extra. They're called, I think they're called Chickapex. Oh, man. Then there's also fucking one of my favorite things is when you start in that game, you have those 3. Like the cutscene shows those 3, so they're kind of supposed to be the starter pals you get, but you don't really have to have starters in there. You can just freely capture whatever. depending on levels. But you're supposed to start with those, right? But in the first area, when I did my set, because I did one server that was just testing out the controls and stuff, and deleted that. And then I did the one where I started with when I started streaming it. And within a few minutes, a level 16 pal walks in. It's called like Dino Blossom or something like that. I'm like, oh, that's cool. A level 16. So that was pretty funny. They don't attack. They're not like aggressive to you until you attack them. That was cool. And then I went on play, caught
send
a
it.
few things. Yeah. Well, I did send it after that thing later in that playthrough, and it didn't work out well. But then
Not about the results, about the effort.
Yeah, a few minutes after playing, I saw something gigantic moving, comparatively gigantic. It was like I don't remember what it's called, but it's like looks like a woolly mammoth kind of animal. And it was level 35, and I'm like, huh, that's interesting. I wonder why that's hanging out here too, because that's like the only two high levels is just those two random pals at like 16 and 34, and then everything else is like scales to you being like 1 to level 3 at the start.
It's just a bait. It's just a bait creature. It wants to see who goes after it.
Yeah, but that game was a lot more fun than I thought, especially for being a survival game, which I fucking hate. Come on, there we go.
I've had a lot of good time. I've had a real good time expanding my library, so to speak, of playing other games.
Play every game ever.
Like, I know when the show comes out, if it's worth a damn, I'll play.
Fucking Ray's gonna tank his channel next week on Yakuza. Or Like a Dragon.
Yeah. Those are funny, though. Those are whole.
Yeah. Oh, they're a great time. Although apparently, and then most people are assuming this isn't the. I could never remember the difference between like the developer and the fucking creator or whatever. RGG is the studio that directly makes it, and Sega's the one that publishes it. I think is how that goes.
Yeah.
And no one's really thinking it's RGG, the studio that creates it. They think it's Sega just like overboarding on them. But apparently the new game plus for the new Like a Dragon game is locked behind the higher tier versions of the game. So like the $80 and $100 versions. So if you don't get those versions, you apparently don't get New Game Plus.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And this game is supposed to be fucking massive. So that's kind of really fucking scummy. I think that game's got an estimated like 400-hour playtime.
Woo!
Maybe. I might be pulling that out
Hey,
of my
Yakuza. Show isn't good anymore, but you'll still play it. I know. Well, there's just, I mean, as much shit
There's
as
some games that just, you gotta do it.
I mean, yeah, I give the show quite a beating at times. I really do. But there's just nothing properly like it that satisfies what I look for in a baseball game.
That's how I feel about, what is it? It's like COD and Pokemon and Battlefield. Like there'll be imitators all the time, but you will never get anything that feels as good as COD does for the way they do things. Like their games have been shitty for a while. Realistically, they were never really good.
I think Modern Warfare was pretty good.
Pretty good. I'm just saying
the old Modern Warfare, not the
as someone as someone who's not like a multiplayer focused person. They've never really been for me because they became multiplayer focused.
Yeah.
Eventually, so I really don't care unless I've got people to play with. But even then, I'll still jump into random multiplayer lobbies just because nothing feels as good as COD does as a shooter for what it is. By the same token, Battlefield's the same way. Like when Brian and Travis got me to play Battlefield, I think it was the third one for the first time. I've never had an experience like that. Nothing's ever come close to playing that game. Now, I don't play that series anymore because I don't really have anybody to play with. Again, a multiplayer game. But it felt so good, and it was so different from COD in its own way that, that was something that would have kept me coming back to it if I was a multiplayer game. Then that's like Pokemon. there's been a million Pokemon clones over the years, and nothing's ever stood up. No, and not that anybody expects any game to do as well as Pokemon. I mean, it's a fucking first party Nintendo game. I mean, nothing rivals, Mario and Pokemon and Zelda ever. But I'm just like, there's certain games you just nothing's gonna compare to them ever, no matter what you look for. But it's like Power World. At least it's a unique spin. It's Pokemon in a survival world game with guns. I mean, which the guns are just a normal survival world thing. That's in like every survival game. You start beating two stones and a stick together to get an axe, and then fucking 40 technology points later, you're building assault rifles with grenade launchers on them.
Hold on one second.
Nope, I will not. Hold on.
Oh. All right. You were huge into Battlefield 2 back in the day? Yeah, I mean, Battlefield was fun. Like, I was not good at it, but I enjoyed it. It just felt different.
Fucking going back to the memory thing again. One of my greatest memories is falling asleep twice in one lobby of Battlefield 3. So people would make servers in that game that had so I think the like points in that game were called tickets. Like you had to get a certain number of tickets to win. And people would make these lobbies that had like ridiculous amounts. So basically, it was just a 24/7 lobby. Just you drop in, play, and leave whenever you want. Like there was no winning these unless you like something astronomical happened. But that was their purpose, was just to be full lobbies you just dropped in and out of. And me and Brian got into one. Me, Brian, and Travis got into one of these right after we got out of school. Like we got home, started playing. I remember us playing. We played for hours. I mean, what time does schools do? Like high school normally let out?
The high school I went to, we got out at like 3:15.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So something like that. Get home, say it's probably about what 4-ish, maybe a little later.
Yeah.
Get on and start playing. We played from like 4 that evening till like 1 or 2 the next morning, I think. In this one lobby. We did not leave this lobby the entire day. And I remember at one point, as happens, I got really fucking tired. So I just kind of laid over while still playing. I was like, I'm just going to lay over for a bit. And then I fell asleep. Don't know how long I was asleep for. I think it was just a few minutes. I woke back up and I put my headset back on because it had fallen off. And I was like, hey man, what's going on? What happened? They told me no, we still here. We thought we assumed you fell asleep because my character had just been standing in the base forever. I was like, oh yeah, I did. And I played for a little while longer. Then I fell asleep again. I think I fell asleep for like an hour. And then I woke back up and started playing a little bit more. And then I'm like, you know what? I think I should probably just go to bed. And they were like, yeah, we probably need to get off here. We've been in this fucking lobby for like 8 hours. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I remember playing Bad Company when that game came out. I loved that game so much. Like, I loved the quirkiness of the squad in that game. Battlefield Bad Company, it had the picture of the grenade with the smiley face on the pin.
Oh, yeah.
I really enjoyed that game. It was so much fun to play.
What's that fucking game you rail on about, that squad shooter that you love so much?
Brothers in Arms. Yeah. No other game like it. No other game like it. I guess XCOM is close, but it's not turn-based, so I guess depending on how you look at that. But I love Brothers in Arms. It's probably my favorite World War II shooter. I just really enjoyed the turn-based, or the squad feature of it. And the fact that it had permadeath. So, like, if your soldiers died, that was it. Like, you could go into the last mission, ideally, with 2 soldiers, when you should have 8.
Mm-hmm.
So, I love games like that. Like, the old Ghost Recon games, where it was more stealthy. which I haven't played Wildlands, so I should probably hold my judgment. But like the old Ghost
Uh,
Recon games, I enjoyed them. SOCOM was a lot of fun. I just love the squad based games where you could tell your guys what to do. And back when Rainbow Six Vegas came out, remember how revolutionary it was? Where it was just like, oh, you could tell your team to go to a door and you could double breach and stuff like that. And
yeah.
I
Me and
love
Brian
things like
played Wildlands some. That is that is definitely not an old school uh, Splinter Cell game though, or not Splinter Cell. Whatever the fucking over title is for it.
Did I ever play FTL, Faster Than Light? I haven't, man. I'll be honest with you, Frog. I was afraid that game was going to stress me out. I was
It
being,
seems like one of those games from what I've heard of it.
yeah, like I watched NerdCube play it, and I love NerdCube. I think he's pretty funny. But I watched him play it, and I was just like, this game looks very stressful. It looks fun, but it also looks very stressful.
Yeah, that seems like a game you don't really get to take a break in. Like, there's no. I mean, I'm sure there's like small periods where you can, but like for the most part of the gameplay, you got to be on fucking ball to be able to get shit done.
Like I would only play that game if I was having a good day or something, because like things would be going my way, and like, oh, if I play this game, that seemed like a game I wouldn't play if my day was absolute pooping. Just
That's the game you play when you want to ruin your good day.
yeah. but but yeah, that was a game where it was like you're supposed to lose, like you're supposed to lose to get better. Yeah, those are unique games. Those games could teach a lot. Like, hey, everything you create is not gonna work.
Yeah, I mean, it's a roguelite. Roguelites are built off you need to fucking fail over and over and over again until you just get good enough, or for some of them, unlock enough permanent upgrades to, win your way through.
There was another game I played that was like that. Oh
What, a
god,
roguelite?
it was similar to Faster Than Light, and I can't think of what the name of it is now.
There was another game, I think either around the same, it might be at a different time, but it had the same basic concept. I always heard them talked about in the same circles, but yeah, I can't recall the name of it either. I feel like it was maybe something like Hardlight.
If I tried Game Dev Tycoon, I have not tried that game.
I've seen that game,
Yeah,
a little bit of it.
get into the Rome Total War kicks though. I love playing that strategy game.
I'll tell you a game you never heard of:
All right.
Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Yeah, dude, that game is goat. I still have that game. I have that on I have that on Steam too. I went because I couldn't find my disc. I went and bought the complete set for like it was like $8, and it had
Yup.
it had Corkscrew Follies. It had what was the other one? It was Corkscrew Follies, Twisted something. No, what was it?
Twisted Sisters.
Not Twisted. I knew you could fucking say that.
Oh, what was the fucking thing? You did something similar to that too a couple of streams ago, I think, where you said something and I fucking hit you right back. And you're like, I knew you were going to fucking say that. God, I wish I could remember what it was.
Hey, you've cleaned the whole park, and I've been over here at this wall pretty much the whole time.
Well, I mean, you were working on this fucking ball thing for a while. There you go, you clean that.
Yeah, that's my first thing I've cleaned in a while. Um, you're one of the few people that can really, really get me on point there. Like the take me to church gimmick that.
Oh, that was it. That was it. That was so fucking good.
So much hatred. Just not enough. I have boiling hatred in my body. I had that joke ready to go, and you're like, let me ruin it for you. There you go.
I fucking, as soon as I saw it, I'm like, I knew exactly what the fuck you were going to say because you've said it every day since the fucking day I met you. God damn. Fucking, I don't think I've ever undercut you as bad as that day.
It took me to school.
Fucking, you gonna learn today, son.
You'll learn today. I still remember a long time ago when we played Halo Reach, and I still haven't got that stupid ball out yet.
I wonder. Let me try something. Remember, we have different. We see two different ones on this.
But we were playing Halo Reach, and we were across the map from each other, and then I was chasing a guy, and I kept going like, "Come back here, you long-titted, no-nipple ass," and then I died, so it just turned into an X, and it had that chat. Halo Reach had that chat for like, if you died, your voice thing gave out.
Yep.
So like, in that game, you just heard me say, "Get back here, you long-titted, no-nipple having at." It just like vanished.
That's where that came from. That fucking day. Oh god.
Oh, I almost had it.
Did you though?
Oh my god, if you would just go forward. Oh yes, I got it.
Woo! Party hard.
Whew. Watermelon shot. Oh, fuck off. Yeah, I've had a plenty good times like gaming in my life. Like I'm not a celebrity at all, but I love the fact that I could sit here and tell stories and at least one other person gets it.
Yeah. Who's that person?
Well, I mean, you're a close second, but of course I'm talking about.
You're talking about Reed, aren't you? Shit.
Yeah, he's
Mr. I'm done with PowerWash.
I'm all power washed out without playing with us, you prick.
Dick Bag McGee.
He's like, yeah, we're gonna down. It's literally in the Discord chat. He's like, yeah, I'll download it and we'll play together. Never happened. Never happened. You're such a phony.
This guy's a phony.
This guy's a phony. Hey, look, everyone. This guy's a phony. He's a big fat phony.
Oh Lord. Let's
see. That's fine. I'm trying to think what else has ever happened. There was okay. Did I tell you the time that Sam? This is before we knew each other. But there was a time a long when Gears of War, the first Gears of War came out, I had a LAN party, or my friend Matt had a LAN party at a hotel he lived at. the crack hotel he lived at. So Sam changed his ringtone on his phone.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why he changed it to this. If Reed ever sees this, he'll probably cooperate and tell me what I messed up on this story, because he was there. And so what had happened is that we broke up into teams. So like we were in one room and then the other team was in the other room. Cog was in one room, Locust in it. And there was a point where Sam changed his like I said, he changed his ringtone or his text message alert or something. And it was happening every time Sam killed me. I heard Roma Victor, because Sam's a big Roman fan. Like he loves, you know, anything Roman history.
Yeah.
And I got to the point I was like, "Will you shut the fuck up with that?" I thought it was him screaming that, like him, Sam.
Yeah.
But it was his phone doing it the whole time. And then it took me 45 minutes to realize that wasn't him. That was his phone. So I was yelling at Sam, and he's in the room going, "What the fuck did I do?" It's just, it was hilarious.
Missing a wall somewhere. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wait, do I have?
I was
I've
an
got
idiot.
it selected, so it should be glowing. For me, at least, you'll have to turn that on.
Oh yeah. A wall. How many times
There it is. I see it in the distance.
Whoop.
Where the fuck did I put the?
This is this one. Oh, here it is.
I
Even
think the thing was waiting for me to put the light.
breaking it in. Earned
Yeah,
50
man.
stars. Yeah, boy. We did it. That was another good night. So yeah, that's probably gonna be it for me. It's midnight, and I have to wake up at 4:30. So,
You don't have to do anything.
but yeah, we talked about before I leave. We talked.
Yeah, problems there.
On my screen, I was just like, yeah. So before you leave, you just went poof, and vanished. But yeah, we talked about possibly having like a game podcast at some point soon. So have you thought about that anymore?
I haven't thought about a fucking thing. Do you think I thought about anything this
Yes.
week with the way work went?
Yes, because it would take your mind off work.
Shit.
But anyway, yeah.
Go ahead. What? Yes? No? Maybe?
I was gonna wait to your answer, and then I was gonna answer.
Shut the fuck up.
All right.
That's my answer.
All right. I like it. I like it.
Um,
Wouldn't accept it any other way.
No, I haven't thought about it. I mean, that's like, if you want to do it, we'll do it. Because I know you tried to, like, whenever y'all moved, you came up with the fucking one thing, whatever it was called, that app, where we could do it from home. And I don't know about anybody else. I don't know what their deal was. I just wasn't in the mental place to be doing
Right.
that at the time.
Yeah, and I'm not forcing it. I just didn't know if we're thinking about it. And it's okay if we're not. I mean, I really enjoy just these talks while playing PowerWashed.
I mean, we can try it again. I mean, I still think we should just kind of maybe try to bring back the old podcast in a way.
To rebrand it.
Well, no, I mean, because I still like I still love the idea we came up with for that podcast, the naming convention for it. I still think that was the best thing out of that podcast. Was
Oh no,
name.
yeah, it's
And I
absolutely
still
staying the
have
same.
I still have the Facebook account for it. And I think I have both of them. I have the Twitter and the
Please, it's
thing, don't I? Let me see. See here.
I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream while you're finding that. So, hope you guys enjoyed our awesome 3-hour talk about life and video games and how bad people are and how good people can be when they're not scumbags and YouTube pranksters and what else we talk about. How Rome sucks. I don't know. But yeah, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you for whatever comes next. Go follow Raven on Twitch at _Raven_quote, as he is
I
trying
didn't
to
make
stream.
a going live tweet.
Yeah, he does make a one live. I sometimes retweet them. Sometimes. When I can. If I see them.
No, that's what I just said. I didn't make one.
Oh. Sometimes I don't see them until they're like 3 hours past. It was like, I'm going live at 2 o'clock, and I'm like, it's 6 o'clock. He might still be.
Yeah,
but anyway.
That's my bad. Oh well.
Frog, Gabe, Sean, Coda, of course. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next time. Like and sub. Or push up daisies.